have to be nice to Chris Davis.
I'm excited for
nice.
Doom. I mean,
nice.
I'm looking forward to playing Doom.
And I'm
sorry, I'm shitting on your joke here.
I just don't believe
Let's take 5 minutes to talk about
believe
Doom.
me?
You don't wait. You
you.
don't.
No, I don't believe Nick.
You don't think I'm gonna be out there playing Doom on day one? Because you're crazy. If you,
Because you're dumb.
because you're dumb, Brad. You're dumb. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of 4Player Podcast of 2016. My name is Nick Henderson. Brad Simons is here.
Woo!
Noel.
Oh, you
No.
fucked up.
No, my name's not
throw
Nolan.
this podcast in the trash.
I actually did that intentionally. I was just gonna. Okay, you've
Okay,
ruined the
yeah,
joke.
sure.
Anyways,
Good
Nolan's
joke.
not here. He's in New Jersey.
Oh.
Missed the first show of the year. Way to set a precedent,
go.
Nolan. I'm sorry. He's still on his holiday vacation. I don't know why I put that in air quotes. He'll be back next week, and I think next week is going to be our 2015 award show. Right? That's our plan. But tonight, Crispy is joining us,
As most nights.
and that's true. And Chris Davis filling in for Nolan this week.
happy to fill in.
And that's the Chris couch over there. And we are going to be doing. This is going to be a bit of a doozy of a podcast. But we have how many games, Brad? You say
Over 150 games. to talk about tonight.
150.
So there's
Games?
a game for every type of first generation Pokemon.
Yes.
Nice.
What? Yeah,
Thought it was
I can't
151.
argue that. I
Well, you
really
said
can't.
over 150 games.
Oh, okay.
It could be 151 games.
Could
Wait,
be.
Does Missigno count? So really it's 152.
There's probably a game for every person who died while
they
you
make
made your
that
bad
canon?
joke.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Anyways.
Pokemon ideas.
I actually watched the Pokemon Origins, like little 4-part story thing, and never once does he catch Missigno or use the glitch to make an infinite number of Master Balls.
Did you introduce Chris Davis?
I did introduce Chris
Yes.
Davis.
All right.
Brad stops listening to introductions as soon as his name is out of the way.
I mean, kind of.
Oh,
He admits it. There we go.
So here's the plan tonight, guys. We are going to go down this Brad's going to go through this master list. I think periodically throughout the show, we're going to take a break from the list and we're going to answer viewer questions because we did not have a show last week. We missed a podcast last week, and I have a bunch of questions. So we will periodically stop to answer some questions.
You missed out on all our VR fun.
I did. Sorry. I had company coming into town, and it was a bit of a clusterfuck last week. So
How
hence
about
no
that
podcast.
Making a Murder?
I have not watched that yet.
I watched
It's
that.
fucked up.
That was crazy.
Everything. This world sucks.
Before we get started on the list, I just want to also reiterate we just launched the 4Player merch store tonight, just before the podcast. We're selling we're selling 3 shirt designs, one with our classic logo, and we're selling 2 new shirts. Brad and I are sporting them tonight. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I'm wearing my Roach of Krondor t-shirt.
I'm wearing my official Scooter Brothers, established 2008 Rockstar.
Oh, yeah.
Where will we go today?
So we got 2 new
yeah.
shirts. They're both commemorating classic clips. So go check them out. You can find the link to the store in chat or on 4playernetwork.com. So check them out if you're interested.
Fuck you. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started because we have a lot of games to cover. 2016 is gonna be nuts, right? I think it's gonna be nuts.
Probably 2015 was pretty nuts, though.
Dude, I didn't think
Doesn't look like it's slowing down.
it wasn't until I looked at the list
yeah.
that I actually started to realize that 2016 might be crazier than 2015.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think there's more diversity. In
I think there
2016.
is more
Too many
diversity.
games.
Like there was a lot of 2015 seems like it was a really great year for like known quantities.
Yeah.
Like even the new
You mean-
IP, like even the new
Even
IPs
as
we
far
got.
as like sequels to games that we already enjoy.
Yeah, like the sequel to original IP ratio, or
Yeah.
like even a new IP like Bloodborne felt familiar enough. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I think 2016 looks like it's going to be pretty promising in terms of variety. So, why don't we just jump down the list, Brad? Which platform do we want to start with? By the way,
Before we start,
who helped us put together this list?
I was going to say that, Nick.
Well, I'm the host, so I'm setting you up. God damn it!
Okay, sorry. That was my best Nolan impersonation.
best of friends.
No, your best Nolan impersonation would be like, "Calm down, killer."
Yeah, calm down, killer.
Calm down, killer.
Getting to it.
Oh, that should be a shirt.
I'm telling you that word cloud.
Nolan didn't invent that, okay?
I know, but whatever. Just keep reading.
Well, okay, so I propositioned some people and they came through.
Wow.
Arcapants is the main curator or the main scribe of this list, and he was helped by Adesys,
Who's our our very own Ed?
Skyliner, and Gamerbeck, as well as many chatters throughout the day yesterday. Were suggesting titles that we should add to this list, and I feel like we have probably the best preview list, 2016 preview list that you're going to find out there on the internet.
So don't even try to go and look for others. No, just listen to ours.
Don't even try.
Give up.
Don't even try.
I'm gonna kind of, this is a lot of games. We're gonna go down pretty quickly, and of course at the end,
Some will skim past pretty quickly. Others will maybe spend a minute or two talking about.
I might do some on the fly curation.
Okay.
Oh, we love that.
We love Brad's on the fly curation.
Some of
It's
these
our
we
favorite.
don't really need to talk about, but basically the idea here is we're gonna let you know what's coming, on the horizon. And I guess we start with Sony, because that's the first tab here.
Sony.
Start with Sony.
So I'm just, you may just go alphabetical?
Let's fucking run it.
All right.
I don't think it matters.
First up is a game I'm excited about, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Now, I know you're looking at me going, we're starting with that? What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's that weird looking futuristic Vanillaware game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, and you just looked up there and you saw developer Vanillaware, but you didn't know.
Well, there's a reason, Brad. The title of that game does not exactly roll off the tongue.
Yeah, you're right. It looks really cool. It's nice to see they're kind of doing a different setting. There's big robots and stuff. Vanillaware is a cool studio. They made Odin Sphere. They made Grim Grimoire and some other games. Miramasa the Demon Blade.
That's my personal favorite Vanillaware game.
I played Dragon's Crown a couple years ago. That was cool.
See, the thing is, all of their games prior to this have had like names that are like, you can say or remember. At 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim is not exactly the most.
We got to keep going. Next up is Deep Down. Does it even exist?
Whoa, rewind. You missed one. You missed a very important one for me.
I told you I have to do some on-the-fly curation.
Yeah, you're cutting out my choice, which is Ace Combat 7. Yes!
That was a really
Wait,
subtle.
does Ace Combat still have jet fighters?
Yes.
Okay, what's the next game?
I mean, it's probably gonna be
And giant jets and things like
Hey,
that.
at least it's not a free-to-play game.
What is it?
Thank God.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You play as a jet. Deep Down, it's probably got canceled.
Oh, a jet dating sim.
We put it on here. You know when at the debut of the PlayStation 4, this is one of the first and most impressive games they kind of rolled out. Capcom was like, we're making a new engine, and here's the first game for it. Boom, Deep Down. And it kind of fell off the face of the planet. I hope it comes back in some form. But
I mean, this is the one that looks a little like Dragon's Dogma, but also like
Right.
teases like
Futury.
futuristic elements, like science fiction elements.
yeah.
Which
Almost Assassin's Creed in a way.
what's
You're-
that all about?
In the future, I think what it is, you're going and finding these artifacts, and then you touch them, and then you go back in time, and you have this fantasy thing.
But isn't it still supposed to be free to play?
Supposedly supposed to be free to play.
It might not
Is
even
it
exist.
still
anymore.
supposed to exist?
All I know is like all of last year it was a no-show. So who
Yeah.
knows?
It
There
seems
was
like
no
maybe it
news.
was an experiment, and maybe that experiment has gone south.
Next up, we have a game I'm excited about. Detroit Become Human.
Oh, I forgot
which
about
is a
that.
Terrible fucking name.
It's not great.
That was becoming human.
Why don't I just call it Detroit or just call it Become Human?
It's the Quantic
Dude, I
Dream,
think-
new Quantic Dream game.
I think it's when you bring those two together that it becomes an exceptionally
Either
terrible
of
name.
them together sound kind of.
They're both bad.
Great.
They're both bad. It's basically so the Kara tech demo turned into a game.
They should just
It's
call
also
it.
kind of a lot like what's it called from the
Wait,
looks
so you
of
think
it.
a game that was just called Detroit would be a bad name?
Well, it's
Yes.
that game called Detroit.
With this
would be.
subject
it doesn't
matter,
make
yes.
any sense.
Quantic
like-
Dream is just not good at subtitles.
But what if that
Why
made
didn't they?
sense?
Why didn't they just call it Kara or like?
We're
Robot
getting hung
Lady?
up on the title. The game, the Kara tech demo was cool, and I'm glad they're making a game based on that.
Have we ever seen a game?
We know that what's his face, the dude, Quantic Dream dude.
David Cage.
We know that David Cage is not single-handedly writing and directing this one.
Oh, fuck
so that's
yes.
a good
Thank you.
sign for
Fuck
some
yes.
people.
I have a question. Have we ever seen a high-profile game, change names this far in development?
Invisible Link?
It happens a lot.
Huh?
Yeah,
Invisible Link?
Incognita.
See,
But
what
that
if
was a
they?
copyright
There's still
thing,
time. They could fix the name.
They're not going
Also,
to.
Shut up.
Trenched.
Huh?
Trenched became Iron Brigade.
But that was more for legal issues.
Yeah, true, but still.
Okay.
Change name.
Anyway,
The bottom line is Detroit Become Human is a sequel to Ex Machina. Go watch that movie. It's pretty good.
oh, that movie's great.
Next up, Drawn to Death, which is the new David Jaffe game. You've seen me play it on the feed. It looks
A
really
lot.
cool, and I can't wait for the final to
Game is
come out.
Bananas.
The final free-to-play release come out in 2016. Next up, we have Dreams by Media Molecule. Pretty sure we still don't know what that game is.
I mean, did we really know exactly what Little Big Planet was?
Yes,
I
that
think?
first trailer
Well,
showed
it's-
everything.
It's basically kind of Little Big Planet, but it's on a 3D plane instead of 2D.
They're going way more abstract with this game though,
They're
aren't they?
they're putting
I think they're going too far.
I've
honestly.
talked about this before. They're releasing this set of tools without like a really basic game design at its core, at its base.
There needs to
like,
be
like
a-
Little Big Planet was a platformer.
Right.
Dreams is not a game. It is
tool
It's a
set.
tool set.
tool set to make experiences. A lot like what you saw. You saw people with Little Big Planet kind of make movies out of that tool set.
Yeah.
They're just now releasing the tool set, hoping that people would make that kind of stuff because this caters towards creation.
Yes.
So it's a little weird. It's a harder sell, but you know what? I trust Media Molecule. They're pretty cool.
It'll be interesting, to say the least.
Next up, we have the Full Throttle remaster. That is, of course, by Double Fine. It's nice to see that Double Fine kind of secured all the rights to Tim Schafer's old games. I know there's some big fans of this one, just like with Grim Fandango and Day of the Tentacle. So I'm glad, it's going to get a nice modern version because a lot of those old PC games are just hard to run and whatnot.
Can you turn your mic up or something a little bit? You're reading just a little bit low.
Okay, I'll speak
Just a hair.
just a hair. I'll speak a little louder too. Next up, we have a twofer here. We have Gravity Rush 2 and Gravity Rush Remastered, which is the PS4 port of the Vita game. A pretty
Dude, that game was cool.
Successful Vita game, one
game
of
was
the few. So I'm excited because I hadn't played.
That was one of the few games that I played on my Vita before before it became clear that the Vita was
Yeah.
not going to be a powerhouse of a handheld platform. And that was one of the few games I played where I was like, holy crap, like this platform could be really fucking cool. Like there could like a lot of really cool things could be done.
Yeah.
Like especially with new IP. So it was sad to see the Vita kind
and
of fade out.
We've seen footage of Gravity Rush 2. I think it looks really
Dude,
good.
Gravity Rush 2 looks like Gravity Rush versus Gravity Rush 2. Like it's giving me the same like Zone of the Enders 1 to Zone of the Enders 2 vibes.
Well,
Like it's super like more. It's like the environments seem. I mean, at least we've only seen like short trailers, but the footage that they've shown seems denser, more colorful, more vibrant. Like,
how does it make you feel that the people who made Silent Hill now make Gravity Rush? Even their studio's called Project Siren, which is what they named their studio when they left they stopped making Silent Hill and made that first Siren game. They've been called Project Siren ever since. And now they make Gravity Rush.
move on, Brad.
Okay.
Move on.
They should make a new Siren game.
Hitman Go. This is just a port for PS4. That's a cool game.
Maybe I'll finally play that game though on PS4.
And for Vita.
Oh,
Well,
Hitman Go's great. You should play it now. You can play it.
The thing is, it's a good phone game, like
Yeah.
Lara Croft Go.
By the way, you should be
Good
mentioning
pooping game.
tentative release dates when applicable.
None of them are really applicable, really.
I mean, if you know in the next 3
But
4 months.
Why not? If they're
Sure.
just,
February for Hitman Go.
I mean, you know what? Just start from here.
All right. Next up is a game that I don't know if it's actually going to be landing in 2016, but I know people are excited about it.
I'm so excited.
Horizon Zero Dawn, another terrible name.
What?
It's not a great name.
It's bad.
I think it would be better if it was just Horizon.
Or
It
Zero
just
Dawn.
sounds like they took 3 buzzy words and smashed them together.
Yeah. That's gonna
Whatever,
jump on
you
this
guys
year.
are-
Whatever.
such
It doesn't
buzzkills.
matter what the game's name is. The game itself looks fucking sick.
does.
It looks very good. It looks like help me out here. Like Killzone meets Last of Us meets I don't know,
Hint of Far Cry.
hint of Far Cry in there. Yeah.
We must move forward. I'm gonna skip a couple of these. Next up, we have Neo.
This is the one that I desperately
It looks like Onimusha.
I can't. But it's made by fucking Team Ninja, man, and that's killing my hype.
It's made by
killing
Team
my
Ninja.
hype boner for Neo.
I'm
This
willing
game
to
has
give
been in
it a shot.
development in some form.
This is the samurai game, right?
Yeah.
This is the game that looks very, very, very strangely similar to Onimusha, a series that is near and dear to my heart that I've been praying to come
But with-
back for years.
But with a Dark Souls-esque.
That's what
Yeah, it has. It has.
I was like, what was the hook about this that got me excited? Because
It looks-
I've never really played Onimusha, but it does
You
look.
son of a bitch.
I'm sorry,
Hey,
guys.
it's okay.
I've never played
Be nice to the
Onimusha,
boy.
but the Dark Soulsiness of it looks really.
I'll say
fucking
this:
sick.
it's not just a Team Ninja game, and modern Team Ninja kind of sucks. But this project has been in development in some form. I guess you could say development hell for a very long time. It's interesting that this thing still exists and it's coming out.
I hope it's good, but I do not have high expectations for it. I
Well,
have
hey.
a feeling it's going to
I mean, this
flop.
is the same studio that brought us Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3.
And I didn't
Well, it's
like,
also the same studio that brought us Ninja Gaiden Black. So
like Ninja Gaiden.
Let's
so.
be a little fair. Team Ninja is not just this garbage dump studio. The Dead or Alive games are still pretty well received. You know,
and a lot of the trash they got thrown out, like, what's his name with Devil's Third.
Here, this next one's pretty cool. Nier Automata.
That is also like I don't know if that's coming this year. But
well, it is slated for this year.
yeah, but so is Scalebound. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, what we saw of Nier just a few months ago makes me think that there's a good chance it could come this fall.
I mean, and if it really is just sort of a more straightforward character action game, then Platinum Games knows how to make that game. So I don't see them having trouble. I mean,
But if there is a project that I would want Platinum to take their time with and flesh out, I would want it to be Nier. Like I as
want
much
it
as
to be
I
everything.
want,
I want it to be Scalebound. I want it to be that new Ninja Turtles game.
but
I want
like
it-
I don't want this Nier game to come out and have it just feel like I don't know, like a beat 'em up game. Like Nier, it was cool for a very specific reason.
it's just not going to be that game though. It's just not. It's not. And I
but it also shouldn't be some
Remember
formulaic
who's
like.
working on this, though. The specific people from Nier that are working on this title.
well, the director, but I mean, it's still developed by Platinum Games. Hey, what's important is they have the same composer. Really,
I guess
at the end
that
of
is important because that game has incredible music.
How about Nino Kuni 2?
You mean that game that's not Dark Cloud 2?
Sure. But you know what? I'm pretty excited about Nino Kuni 2.
Do you think they're gonna go away from like the Pokemon fighting scheme? in there?
I don't think so.
I think if anything, they're just gonna take that and make it better.
But they didn't really focus on that at all in that initial trailer, so it makes me wonder.
No, but I think there's a certain element of like we know what to expect from Ni no Kuni because that was kind of that's what made that game unique. Nothing else about that game was truly unique other than it just looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Odin Sphere Left Horizon.
Really?
Left
Two Vanillaware
Horizon.
games, and they both are like.
He's grinning because he knows what he just did. That son of a bitch.
Oh, I skipped Knights of Azure.
Oh, there's more of that curation, huh?
I skipped Knights of
more of
Azure.
that.
That's funny. You probably knew that was coming ever since he curated.
Yeah.
Chris
probably.
I'm glad
You
I
don't have an actual fucking reason to skip that game. It's gonna be a big deal no matter
There's
whether
no,
it's good
there's
or
no
bad.
publisher, there's
whatever.
no
Sorry.
developer next
Go
to it. It's not even a
fuck
big game.
yourself, Brad. No Man's Sky is also coming out.
Is
for
that really
PS4.
is that PS4 exclusive?
As far as I understand, they're gonna put it on PC after.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay,
Man,
two things. We're talking about 2016 games.
Oh, fuck
One,
you,
is this
Brad.
coming out in 2016?
They said 2016.
Two, is this even
It's
a
coming
game?
out in June.
if we eliminated
June,
every
buddy.
game on this,
It's
if we eliminated every game on this list that might not come out this year, we wouldn't have much of a list.
Exactly. So No Man's Sky.
Oh, just go fuck
They
yourself,
said
Brad.
June.
All right. Persona 5. This is a big one.
Yes, it is big.
I think we're all excited.
Why is it
about
even on this
Persona
list?
5.
It probably is not going to come out this year.
I would like to say that project.
Is that still a PS3 game, or do they say that's PS4?
No, it's
now?
PS4. It's PS4.
It's their first PS4 game.
Okay.
Yes.
For a while, it was
That.
PS3 though, right? I'm not imagining that. It was
think they
PS3
started
until they finally said,
development on it
"No,
until
it's
then.
coming PS4."
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
This next one, I just want to say that Project Satsuna. This is actually we saw at the Square Enix press conference at E3 where Square Enix created a new studio, Tokyo,
Drift.
I forget what they called it. They called it like Tokyo Studio or something.
Low hanging fruit.
That
Chris.
exists now to make kind of like old school RPGs for Square Enix, and this one kind of looks like a throwback. That actually looks pretty good. So hopefully it's going to be good. Next up, we have Ratchet and Clank. It's just called Ratchet and Clank.
But is this like a new Ratchet and Clank
it is
game?
a new Ratchet and Clank game.
It is
So we're
the
just waiting-
game based on the movie based on the game.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
I forgot. They're making a movie just called Ratchet and Clank.
Yes.
Based on the series, and they are now making a game based on that movie.
So this is a movie
which is
tie-in.
also just called Ratchet and Clank, which is based off of the original game that was also just called
Yes.
Ratchet and Clank. What the fuck?
I played at E3. It looks really sexy. Who knows?
It looks really good, but
Those are
it's
solid
Ratchet
games.
and Clank.
Odd word to describe Ratchet.
That
and
is
Clank, but
also
okay.
that is a series I've never played.
I beat the first
Those are
one.
fun games. I
love those kind of platformers.
You
I
know
don't
what
know
you
why.
should play? Maybe just this one. I don't know.
Honestly, if you
Crack in
played,
Time is where I'd recommend to start.
if you played one Ratchet and Clank, you pretty much played them all. Honestly,
But do I need? Are they? Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm.
There's one on PS3 called Crack in Time. It's really good. Might be a good place to start.
All right.
Next up, we have a game that has been missing in action also for maybe the past year.
This is also one I'm very
Rhyme.
excited for.
What the fuck happened to Rhyme?
This every time this game shows itself though, it like fucking.
They
like,
only showed out of the edited
uh,
trailers.
This was the big like open world puzzle game where like the character was like turning wheels to
yeah.
turn the sun in the moon.
it looks
and
like a
everything.
super like vibrant, colorful like
It kind of
eco.
looks like it's going for the same thing that The Witness is going for.
Yeah, it looks like Ego
Well.
meets The Witness, maybe with a little Wind Waker thrown in there. Like it.
Just to be clear, though, we have never seen anyone play Rhyme.
No,
We've seen two highly edited
I've been to
trailers.
so many press conferences where I've just been like, this is the year, this is the show where they're gonna finally show us Rhyme, and it never happens.
but there's no rhyme or reason for you to not.
God damn it,
Jesus
Chris.
Christ, get out.
You are the worst.
A couple RPGs here that I'm kind of interested in, I guess. First one is actually coming out in March, according to this. Maybe that's in Japan, actually. But Star Ocean 5, Integrity and Faithlessness.
God, it's a terrible subject.
Wow, that's awful.
I mean,
Of all the bad names we've read so far, I feel like that's the worst.
The reason I'm excited is because I feel like kind of Star Ocean always used to kind of compete with the Tales of games, because you know that original team split apart, and one made part of those people made Tales, and part of those people made Star Ocean, and they're both very similar type of action RPGs. I know 4 was kind of a little bit of a letdown, but maybe this one will be good. It certainly looks nice. Next up is Tales of Berseria, which is the next Tales game.
It's a Tales game.
I was
Moving on.
somewhat interested in, but now I find out that it's kind of related to Zestiria, and it's kind of running in that engine, and I just don't know. Tekken 7's on here. I know we don't have many Tekken fans in the room, and I don't really play Tekken seriously
Yeah,
anymore.
you probably should have just curated that one out.
Yeah, I played the shit out of Tekken 3, so.
I mean, you can't ignore that Tekken once used to be a really big deal.
You can't
for Sony.
ignore Tekken, but you can definitely ignore.
Let's not ignore
No
the
Man's
things
Sky.
that Brad likes.
Yeah.
Next up, we have The Last Guardian.
This is the year, guys. I can feel it.
They said it was 2016.
Does it even matter anymore?
Was your argument that they said it was 2016?
Yeah. It said it was 2016 at the PlayStation press conference at E3.
They also said that game was they've said
That was supposed to be like a 2010 game. Like,
that game debuted at the first E3 I ever went to. It's one of the first things. It was like my first
We
E3
know.
memory. It was so special. I was like, oh my god, oh, this is amazing. And here we are, and we still haven't fucking played it. None of us have even played it.
I think we've kind of exhausted Last Guardian talk. We're just patiently waiting.
I'm hoping. My thing, like, this is the first time since I first saw it where I feel like, okay, it's actually approaching a release. Like, it's been at shows in some shape or form for a while.
Sort of.
Kind of. See.
Does anybody know what the Tomorrow Children is? I do.
Yes. That weird
Isn't
ass
it-
looking fucking, I don't even know how to
I
describe
think
it.
it's kind of like Minecraft, but it's got a really cool art style. And it's by Q Games. Q Games, you might know them as the Pixel Junk guys. They've made some cool stuff in the past, so hopefully this will be good. Uncharted 4.
That game's gonna suck. I'm just kidding. I'm looking forward to
What
that.
else is there to say? It's Uncharted.
As much as like
You know,
I am excited for Uncharted 4, but let's be honest, like I don't expect that game to really surprise me in any real way.
You know
Other
what?
than like
I-
crazy action sequences.
I do expect it to surprise because that's what Uncharted does.
No, but like it surprises you with like cool set pieces.
Yeah.
Which are great. I love Uncharted set pieces. I will love
And-
Uncharted 4. But like there is nothing
Great fucking acting and writing and awesome characters. I mean,
and
that's what Uncharted is.
subpar shooting.
I mean, you know what I've realized is that after playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, which, on paper and while I was playing, was like, man, this is a good game. But after I finished it, it just doesn't stick with you. It's kind of self-serious, and it's just not fun like Uncharted, in the realest sense of the word, in all the senses of the word, It's just too goddamn serious.
The only thing
Uncharted knows how to be a good time, and I think we can expect that.
What you're saying is all true, but it's all things that I expect. The only the most surprising thing is what Pocop brings up is they hinted at dialogue choices, which was weird.
Sure.
They're probably not going to be substantial, though.
I doubt it.
It doesn't matter, because remember going into E3, we were like, oh, Uncharted, we're going to see some more Uncharted. I guess we like Uncharted. Really, the fourth one? And then we saw Uncharted, and we're like, God damn, man, Uncharted. It's crazy, right? It's not like when they showed us more Gears of War or more God of War, this actually impressed, and I think we have reason to be excited.
Yep. And not to mention, it's supposed to be like the Uncharted swan song, right? Like this is this is supposedly supposed to be the final one
before they give it to Activision.
Shut your mouth.
Well, they did it with Crash. Valkyria, Azure Revolution.
I still have not even started that game.
Azure Revolution, whatever.
This is the
Blue Revolution. What is this?
The non-strategy RPG Valkyria game.
Blue.
It has strategic elements. All we know is it's related to the Valkyria Chronicles universe. It is not a Valkyria Chronicles game. It does not play like a Valkyria Chronicles game, and it is not developed by the people who made the original Valkyria Chronicles.
All of those things make me less excited about that game.
It is developed by Mediavision, who you might know as the developer of all the Wild Arms games, who also developed Valkyria Chronicles 3. So, I mean, it's not like they're not familiar with the series.
You mean that other Valkyria Chronicles game that I didn't play because they put it on a handheld that I haven't owned in 5 years?
It didn't come out over here, did it?
It did not. It did not.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a lot like Valkyria Chronicles 2, which was actually a pretty impressive handheld release. So, I mean, it might not be what I want, but it is still a PS4, AAA, or, as AAA as a JRPG can get these days. I mean, it looks nice. Watch a trailer. Next up, we have Wild by Wild Sheep Studio. This is the independent studio started by Michel Ancel.
I'm very excited for this.
And it's sort of this like open world shaman. You can control animals. You can be animals.
I want to know, like, the only reason that I'm hesitant to like fully commit to being excited for this game is because for what they've shown of it, it looks really cool. I still don't know what the
There doesn't seem to be any direction.
What is the flow?
seen
Like,
the
I mean, I'm sure
trailers.
there's a direction, but what is that direction? They haven't really been too clear on that. Are we going to be using this to solve puzzles? Is it largely just kind of an experience? Like, is this going to be like one of those games where it's like you play for the experience? There's not really any direction at all. Like, I don't know.
I mean, all I can glean from it is that you try to keep your tribe alive, and that's about it.
We'll see.
They did demonstrate the game. Did
No,
y'all
they
watch
did.
that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
We did a live commentary on it.
We did?
Yeah, me
think
and
so.
Nolan.
Oh.
Oh.
What Remains of Edith Finch? I just want to say, I played the City 3. It seems really cool. It's by Giant Sparrow, the guys that made Unfinished Swan.
I love the Unfinished
This
Swan.
sorry, Nick. This is an experience game. But I thought
You
I
could
thought
be
it
a
actually
shark
looks
that's
really cool.
rolling downhill.
Yes. It's very surreal.
I like
Intentionally.
surreal, and I'll probably play it for that surrealness. Is that a word?
No.
But I like Unfinished Swan was such a cool.
Okay, we have some Yakuza games.
Cool game.
I don't know which ones. All we know is that we are for sure getting Yakuza 0. There's a question. It's questionable whether that's actually gonna or not. That's actually gonna hit 2016. I will say that I am very excited about Yakuza 0 because I feel like I can go into it without the pressure of not having played the past couple of Yakuza games. That's sort of what kept me away from Yakuza 5. I had not finished Yakuza 4.
Has anybody else in here besides Brad played a Yakuza game?
Nolan has.
That is a series that ever since Brad started talking about this years ago, I've always said, "Oh, that game looks really cool. Maybe I'll play that one day." And there's been so many Yakuza games.
You should pick up a Yakuza game. Here's the thing about Yakuza games: they're really easy to like because they're.
Are they?
Yeah, they really
Are
are because they're not like these super complex, like challenging games. And there's a lot of cool or funny characters and lots of cool or funny scenarios. It's
Well, two things I want to ask. Number one,
they're very likable.
Okay, Yakuza 0 is PS3, and that's a remake of the original Yakuza, right?
I mean,
Okay. Yakuza 0 or Yakuza 6 is PS4. The third one, Kiwami, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is that the one that's set like in the
no,
feudal Japan?
no.
Isn't that the
Kiwami's a remake of the original Yakuza.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Zero
So
seems
Zero's
like
a
Yes.
prequel.
Yes.
Okay.
Zero
Yakuza 0
almost-
is the prequel in the 80s, which is like sort of
It's
in
the Grand
time of
Theft Auto
Japan
Vice
when they had
City
like
of-
all the
80s Yakuza?
80s Yakuza.
That sounds kind of cool.
It's-
Exactly.
It's the Vice City of the Yakuza series.
Yeah, Yakuza 0 is on PS4 though. Yeah, Yakuza 0 might be a good place to start for like Nick or somebody. I'm telling you, I really do recommend people
All I know is Jack has been playing a shit ton of Yakuza.
like an
He
insane
played
amount
through
of
like
Yakuza.
2 Yakuza games in like 4 days.
I don't even know how someone does that.
I'm not sure he's employed.
He played through all of Yakuza Ishin, which is the recent feudal Japan one on PS4. I have a copy of it. He played it to completion. It took him 21 hours, and he did that in 2 days
What the fuck?
last weekend.
Jesus Christ.
And that was right after he finished Yakuza 5, which he spent like 60 hours on.
Man, he poop socked it.
Well, it's harder to do everything in Yakuza Ishin because it's all in Japanese. So he kind of just stuck to the main path. I understand.
I would imagine so.
Just real quick, I'd like to mention that I am excited about East 8.
No, we can gloss over that one.
He's 8.
It is
That
coming
series
to,
is so old.
it's coming to PS4.
It also has a
but
terrible subtitle.
This is the first brand new East game since East 7 came to the PSP like 5 years ago. So the rest have been kind of like remakes, and that's a series that they do remakes of older ones a lot. But
Terrible subtitle.
and then
What, Lacrimosa of Dana?
I need to mention it because I know a lot of
Yes.
That's better than Become Human. Or Zero Dawn.
I want to mention it because I know some people would be sad if I didn't. Unfortunately, none of us here are fans. I would love to get into the series, but I don't have the games. The third Danganronpa game is coming to Vita in 2016. That is a beloved series.
I really wish they would like port that over to PS4 or something. I would love to be able to play those, but I'm not going to buy a Vita just to do it.
We do have a few Vita games.
Believe it or
The
not.
only one there's Zero Time Dilemma, which is the third Zero Escape game, which is another, like Danganronpa, a very beloved series, which, I recently talked about Virtue's Last Reward here on the podcast, which is pretty cool. And I guess the only other Vita game that I think is worth mentioning here is Severed.
Ed says that Danganronpa 3 is coming to PS4.
Well, there you go.
So that's a multi-platform game.
Oh, I guess that was under the PS4 list.
Get it off the list.
Severed is the new game from the developers of Guacamelee. And it's sort of like this swipe-based dungeon crawler RPG. But it's like dripping with style. Watch a trailer. I think it looks really fucking cool.
It's dripping.
And I haven't played it at any of these shows, but people who have said it's really fucking awesome. So I think anything from Drinkbox at this point is worth keeping an eye on. And that kind of does it for Sony.
All right, so why don't we wrap up Sony by answering a viewer question? How do you ever feel about that?
Okay.
Viewer question. Sorry, we didn't have a podcast last week, like I said, so I'm going to kind of intermittently read off a question from last week that we didn't get around to answering. And last week was going to be a New Year's show, so some of these questions may be New Year's themed. Since the New Year is coming up, this is from Piosht.
Piosht.
Thank you. Piosht. Since the new year is coming up, do any of you have any resolutions for your gaming in the new year? We always should have these. I would say my personal gaming resolution is to always be playing an older game.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah.
While I'm playing all the new shit.
Yeah. Maybe even do a podcast about it.
Yeah. Which we need to start that soon.
Yeah, we will.
God, I really want to play that game on.
What other video game resolutions do y'all have?
Anything specific to a particular game you want to go back and finally play or something?
Nolan got me for Christmas 2014 a copy of Trails in the Sky.
Yeah.
On PC.
Yeah.
I never got around to playing it, so I was hoping to fit it in the next month or so.
Cool.
So there we go.
Crispy?
Stop touching me, Brad.
What game do you finally want to go back to?
It's just kind of a weird concept for me. I make resolutions about things that like stress me out in life, like kind of like real world stuff. Gaming is always like my escape, is like my hobby. I don't want to feel like I have any pressure to do something. I was going to say that I think 2016 should be the year that I finish playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But now I'm intentionally not going to do that. Because Brad couldn't resist the opportunity to fucking prod me about it.
It was probably just going to be a mean joke anyways.
Don't let the terrorists win.
I mean, am I really supposed to believe you were going to sincerely say that? With sincerity.
I guess you can't believe that, but that is what was going to happen.
Well,
you kind of ruined it.
I was going to say it is also my resolution to get through Dark Souls, like the series this year. Because I'm already like halfway through Dark Souls 1. I fully intend to go back to that as soon as I finish my top 10 video. That's kind of my background game I'm playing right now.
I think you've got 3 weeks to do it.
Well, I didn't say I'm going to do it all before Dark Souls 3 comes out. Like,
I thought you said you were.
I was going to try, but like if I don't... It's not like I can't play Dark Souls 3 if I don't finish Dark Souls 1 and 2. Dark Souls 3 is a game that I would like to just make sure I play before the end of the year. So I will keep playing through Dark Souls 1 and 2 before I play Dark Souls 3.
Crispy.
What?
I'm going to let Symphony of the Night go.
Oh my god.
But
I really don't want to talk about this with you, Brad.
No. Symphony of the Night. I do think you should play like a classic Metroidvania, though. I feel like you still, as long as I've known you, have not tackled like a Metroidvania.
I feel like as long as I've known you, Crispy,
have had that drive to 100% one of those games, which is what one of those games does to a person.
As long as I've known you, Crispy, Brad has been trying to vicariously live through you.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's what I found out.
You do what you want.
I mean, just a Metroid
Be your
game.
own man.
Be your own man.
I thought we almost got it when you had like started Guacamelee or you started Shadow Complex, but like the whole point, you need to get over that hump in one of those games. I think you would, or even Ori. You started Ori.
I did. I started Guacamelee too.
Dude, Ori is so good.
I want to see you complete a really well-regarded Metroidvania.
What does he get?
Do
out
you
of
think
it?
you could do that in 2014?
I have a question for you, Brad.
Yeah.
Is Ori and the Blind Forest... I think Ori and the Blind Forest is a fine-ass game. Is it considered a super well-respected Metroidvania?
I mean, I think that is the popular opinion, yes.
Okay. I was just curious. I don't follow these Metroidvania message boards like you seem to.
And MGS2 in chat, just to clarify, I put over 190 hours into Final Fantasy VII. I think I can clear a 60-hour JRPG.
Yeah,
We'll
Lost
see about
Odyssey,
that.
maybe, right. Lost Odyssey 2, right, Chris Davis?
Oh, God, please.
All right. This is a fun
Game was
question. It's time to
boring.
move on. It is time to move on.
Yours.
When the best part of your game are text stories that you read not even in the game, you know your game's got problems.
All right. Let's move on to the next tab on your list, Brad.
I'm not certain I can...
Am I wrong? Am I wrong that was not the best part of that game?
Very wrong.
Am I wrong that was not the best part of that game?
You are so wrong.
It's true. What was it called? The 100 Dreams or some shit?
1,000 Years Dreams.
1,000 Years Dreams. One of those made me cry.
Brad.
Okay, we have a very short list of Microsoft games, and they all have stars next to them.
So is this a good year to own an Xbox One?
No.
This is not bad.
Okay, the stars
Could be
mean
worse.
that it's also coming to PC.
That's all of them. They all have stars. And Phantom Dust is on this list. That game is dead. I'm sorry, Brad, but that game is dead.
Okay. Wait,
Not quite dead.
Didn't we find out that Recore is also coming to PC?
That's
Yes.
dead. Yes. 'Yes. 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 'Yes.
are coming out
Just read
to Xbone, just exclusive to Xbone and not PC, and then I'll read the PC ones.
Okay.
We have Crackdown 3. Hopefully, I think it's got to come out this year.
Yeah, right?
They said multiplayer this year.
Yes.
What? You don't launch with multiplayer
They
in a
said
Crackdown
that's
game?
exactly what they said. Multiplayer this year.
God. I think that they're doing
That's a shitty way to
multiplayer
launch a
beta
game.
this year.
That is a shitty way to launch a
I
game.
I think they're going to do a beta this year, in the summer. That doesn't mean
That's possible.
it's launching as multiplayer first. We have Gears of War 4.
Which I will play. I will play.
It's
no
it's
way.
technically a new studio. I'm willing to give
Did
it a
you
shot.
play the last Gears of War?
Yes.
That
You mean
shit
you mean 3?
sucked.
What,
No, no.
Judgment?
Judgment.
Oh no. I didn't.
That
see
was made by a different studio.
That shit was weak.
That was made by the We the People, I think.
Dude, I got
The
people can fly.
People Can
People
Fly.
Can
Yeah,
Fly,
the ones
yeah.
that did Bulletstorm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bulletstorm was not a good game.
Hey, Bulletstorm was better than
Actually, a lot
Gears
of
of War
people
Judgment.
a lot of people liked Bulletstorm.
That's debatable.
I liked Bulletstorm.
You want to debate
suck it.
whether a lot of people...
Hold on, we are doing our very long list of Xbone games.
So long.
We have
We're done?
Quantum Break
I'm very excited for this.
from Remedy.
We skipped a lot of letters.
Hey,
I'm not skipping. I'm gonna do those.
No, I know. I'm just...
we're gonna.
I'm just saying, the list isn't long enough to have very many games between G and Q.
I'm first going over the Xbone exclusives. We have Sea of Thieves.
Wait,
That's
are we
the-
gonna skip over Quantum Break that quickly?
Well, y'all stop talking. What do you want me to do?
Remedy.
It was interviewed.
This is the next game from Remedy.
Yeah.
The guys who did Alan Wake, who
There's a
Which,
TV show.
you know,
It's got
there's-
fucking Littlefinger and that kid from the X-Men movies who hasn't
and
really
that
done
dude from The
anything
Wire,
else.
Daniels.
And there's an Easter egg in there they just got done filming that's a tribute to Alan Wake. And it may link the two universes, possibly.
Son of a bitch.
hey,
But only
you
joking,
scoff, but man, any
Yeah, I would be... Okay.
I like Remedy.
I don't know
We'll say that.
why necessarily, but I feel like I'd be a lot more hopeful for this game if there wasn't a fucking like TV
dude,
show.
that is the
mixed in.
best fucking part about
No,
this game.
I really feel like that is like, I feel like locking those two things together is going to hinder development of both of them.
I felt the same way until they decided to roll it all into like the disc. Like it wasn't going to be a separate thing entirely. Like the fact that the story plays out, the decisions, the actions you take, and the gameplay will affect the events that happen in an episode of a television show, and that's how the story is fed to you. Like that seems really cool to me.
I don't know. I think the TV show stuff fine. This seems fine. It's the Time Cop gameplay or whatever that has me a little worried. I don't know.
Could they have chosen somebody other than Sean Ashmore?
You haven't even seen the guy do the role. Just give him a fucking break. We all know he's Iceman. He's a little wiener in X-Men. Who cares?
I think the week before Quantum Break comes out, we should all play Time Shift in preparation.
And Singularity.
I'm going to play Alan Wake. Fuck you guys.
Actually, Singularity was on sale for like $2 at Best Buy today. I thought of you.
That is a good game. Good. Not great.
It is a great game.
Come on. Not even you believe that.
How about this? It's a fine game.
It's a fine game. Singularity is a fine
I
game.
will take fine.
Sea of Thieves is the next big game from Rare.
Yeah, the
Actual
the
game
pirate
from Rare.
game.
But that's the
We
one that
don't know
has
what
like
it is, though.
but that's the one that has like elements of like MMO shit,
We
right?
don't know that.
It's an MMO.
I guess we do
Build
know.
your own ship.
We don't
and
know it's an
take
MMO.
a crew out and do whatever.
We don't
It
know
looks
it's an
like
MMO.
the pirate shit from Assassin's Creed meets MMO in the style
Stop
of a Rare
saying
game.
MMO. That's a bad word.
Dude,
We
there
don't-
were people in the footage we saw. There were
multiplayer. It could be a multiplayer co-op Assassin's Creed. It could be that Assassin's Creed ship combat multiplayer we've always wanted.
That kind of sounds like Guns of Icarus.
Yes,
I was just
yes.
Guns of Icarus, yeah.
Which,
But
I
on
mean,
boats.
it's fine, but like, not anything that I'm going to get super excited
Hey,
about.
do you not like Assassin's Creed boat combat?
It's fine.
Did you not wish you could do that with other people?
It's fine.
I think.
What if at the end of the year, Sea of Thieves is like our unanimous game of the year?
It
Maybe.
could be.
It could be.
Hey, listen, I just
Maybe.
got an Xbox and I have nothing to play. Give me something.
Halo 5?
No.
I'm playing Halo 5 right now.
Playing Halo 5. Like, listen, I play Halo 5 if people were like over the moon about Halo 5. But they're not. They're like, the campaign, the rec cards, if it was different, I would play it.
Well,
I played a lot of Halo games, but it's not, you know. And if people were shouting from the rooftops about this game, if anybody brought it up at their end of the year awards or podcasts or something, I might be curious. But no one is giving me a hard sell on Halo 5 except for you, Chris Davis.
I'm playing it right now and haven't finished it yet, so maybe I'll be giving you a hard sell on it later.
Same.
I heard the story
I'm like
super
halfway
disappointing
through.
at the end.
Hey, but then again, some people said that about 4. 4 had absolutely my favorite story of the whole fucking series, so...
I'm just not really looking to play a Halo game is all. I did start,
Whatever, Brad.
I did start Sunset Overdrive though.
Next on the list.
Sunset Overdrive's pretty good.
I mean, I think that's pretty much it for the exclusives that are coming to Xbone.
What's that
Because
second to last
Scalebound got delayed.
What's that second to last one there? I don't
know what it is. The Solus project.
Oh, the Souls project? That one.
by the people that made the
Solus?
ball. I curated it out because I have no idea what it is.
And that's rare.
Soulless project.
It's Solus, I hear. Yeah.
Wait, what the hell is the ball?
I'm gonna...
All right.
The Ball was a game that was done in like the animated art style of Monty Python, but you were throwing a ball down a track and trying to wipe out enemies along the way, if I remember it correctly.
If he remembers correctly.
That sounds like Rock of Ages or something.
Oh, well, maybe I was thinking of Rocket.
Hey.
Yeah, so you don't even know what the ball is.
shit.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
hey, there are some games that are coming to Xbox One that are also coming to PC. That some indie games or some other games that actually seem pretty cool, like Cuphead.
Cuphead.
You skipped like 3 games.
I went back to
We played Cuphead
I did
at PAX,
skip 3 games.
and that game was really, really fun.
It was.
And
go
it's
back up.
really
It's
tough.
so good.
Dude, I played that at...
looks
I
pretty.
played the PAX, and holy...
It is just a bunch
Jesus.
of boss fights, though. I don't know. It does look great.
Yeah.
Below, I don't want to skip Below. Below is by Cappy, and
Capybara.
no, actually just Cappy.
Really?
Yeah, they changed their name a couple years ago to just Cappy.
Oh.
Yeah, but we
Well,
know.
someone fucked up this
But
list.
we know.
Yeah, that's probably Ed.
Wow.
Oh, God.
The thing is, Cappy,
No one is safe.
they're a really, really good studio. I think you should be paying attention to anything they make because at this point they have not made too many stinkers. Last year, I mean, not last year as in the year that we're about to talk about, but the year before,
That'd be 2014, Brett.
they're responsible for one of my favorite games of the year, Super Time Force.
That was
They've
great.
also made one of my favorite all-time puzzle/strategy game thingies, Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. So you can't go wrong with Cappy.
Both great games.
Cobalt? No, this thing has been in development. This thing looks bad. Fable Legends.
That game's been in development forever,
Moving
it
on.
feels like.
Fable Legends, free to play, also coming to PC.
Fuck it. It's
What?
not Fable 4. Moving on.
I know,
wait,
but I've been telling Malia, got to get that Xbox. That new Fable game's coming.
That
I'm
was
so
your- that
dead.
was your
I'm
song.
Did
so
she
dead.
actually believe you?
Well,
Hey, what if Fable Legends is our unanimous game of the year at the end of the year?
that will
You're
not
gonna
happen?
make this argument for like the next 2 hours, aren't you?
Yes. Yes. Dude, weirder things have happened.
Halo Wars 2. Boom.
Not-
Mic drop. Boom.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Not Alien Isolation 2.
Does Creative
off.
Assembly really still exist?
Yeah, they made Alien Isolation, bro.
Oh, Creative Assembly. I'm thinking Ensemble. Sorry.
Oh,
Of
Jesus.
course, Creative Assembly exists. Ensemble, they made Halo Wars 1, right?
Right.
They don't exist anymore.
Well, they made Halo Wars and then they got shut down by Microsoft. And,
So they don't
And then
exist.
Microsoft forgot that they had shut down Creative Assembly, so they had to find another
Are,
creative studio.
are any big Halo Wars fans here?
I enjoyed it. It's pretty good.
I don't think I'm going to play Halo Wars.
It's actually. Did you ever play Halo Wars?
I don't play RTSs.
What if it's our unanimous game of the year at
It
the
will
end
not
of the
be
year?
our unanimous game of the year. I don't play RTSs.
Dude,
What the fuck is XCOM?
Like turn-based strategy. I don't play real-time
Oh, yeah,
strategy.
Right, real time. Okay.
I don't play any of that nerd shit.
I guess there is a huge difference between real time.
There
and
is a
turn-based.
huge difference. There is.
How
Trust
can
me.
you not like Command and Conquer?
I mean,
One of the best RTSs ever.
I don't like RTSs.
I mean, that's the short and simple answer.
A
is you
game that
don't
I
like the
will
genre.
play. Hey, I've tried my fair share of RTSs. I will play Inside, though. That is the new game from Playdead, the creators of Limbo, and it looks good.
It does. Is this the one? It's like really dark, and it looks like you're trying to escape some like.
No, that's Limbo.
No. But sorry, but it looks like you're trying to escape some kind of like prison or
Yeah,
something.
it looks very Limbo-esque, but it looks good.
Dystopian society thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Before we move on to the next title, because we're going alphabetically, obviously, they've confirmed that Killer Instinct, along with Season 3, is coming to PC in March.
Okay.
So that's good.
Killer Instinct. We've got fans here of Killer Instinct.
I do like Killer Instinct.
I did bring up Tekken, so you can't bring up Tekken without Killer Instinct.
You gotta be fair.
You fucking...
You're a little bitch tonight.
You know what? Take that tablet away from me.
I've always kind of razzed Chris about Killer
I'm
Instinct.
always kind of a little bitch. You know?
It's just Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct was never cool.
Hey,
It
Killer
just-
Instinct...
It just wanted to be
you,
cool.
sir.
It just they were just
You
they
don't
just-
define cool.
Cool stops and starts with Brad Simons.
The only reason I ever gave Chris Davis shit, and it's literally only Chris Davis I'm joking about here, is that he's not even a Killer Instinct fan. He just played that new one. But that's the funny thing is, who even cares about Killer Instinct except those few weird people that like the old ones, which are not even Chris. I don't know.
Wait, what?
You lost me, Brad.
I'm not a
You lost
fighting game
me.
fan in general.
Hey, I liked,
so.
I loved classic Killer Instinct, but that is coming from someone who just doesn't really like fighting games in general. So
It was
Dude,
it was a poor man's Mortal
I
Kombat.
will say this: I went to a really hipstery party once, and everyone was sitting around playing Killer Instinct.
was it before it was cool?
I'm just hey, they have the Battletoads dude in it now, right?
Yeah, he's probably coming as part of Season 3.
There you go.
They beta tested him in November, and it's probably
People
season
like Battletoads. The same people that like Battletoads like Killer Instinct. Let's move
Oh,
on.
those are trash people.
3. Wow.
Phantom Dust doesn't exist. Fuck you, Microsoft, for telling
What if it
people.
does exist?
No,
It doesn't exist. It
fuck
doesn't
whoever
exist.
put this on the list. Who
Yeah,
put it up?
fuck whoever put this on the
Fuck
list.
you, God,
I
for
believe it
giving
says-
humans the capacity to love.
It says on the list.
There was a moment in which Brad dreamed.
What? Brad just totally fake laughed under his breath. He's like, heh, heh.
No, that's what it says here. It says, hey, hey, yeah, right.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just having a moment of just self-realization of just like, it's not coming.
This is a game that we thought was exclusive to Expo, but we just recently found out that it is also coming to PC, and that is Recore. You remember
And
the trailer for
yes.
Recore?
Yeah.
I will be
With the
excited about this
robots.
game as soon as I know what the gameplay looks like because
I'm excited about. Yeah, I mean, we
It looks
don't
like
really
you're
know what
moving.
it
we know
is.
nothing about this game other than that. All we've seen is
Glowing
a
balls between robots.
We know it's a 3D game. We know there's some puzzle solving to it.
Do we even know that? All we've seen is a
Yeah, we
cinematic
do.
trailer.
They've talked about it.
Okay.
So my hesitation. So I'm excited because it's Armature, and I feel like that's a studio that is yet to show what they can do.
Oh, well, look at they're editing the list on the fly. We can watch them edit it. They just added an asterisk.
I know. Armature Studios.
That's so
They're
nice.
former Metroid Prime developers who left Retro back in the day to form a new studio. They haven't really done any big projects
Wait,
since
they
What
did.
else they've tried?
with the exception of that Batman game.
Batman.
But even that had some cool stuff in it.
Hey, we all joke about all these games are coming to Xbone and PC, but let's be honest. I'm gonna play all these games on Xbone.
What I'm
It's gonna be
saying,
a good year for me and my Xbone.
sure, it is still a list of 17 games, and we still don't know what the Solus project is.
And
So-
Wait, hold
16.
on. I'm talking about Recore. I want to talk about this. So
Yeah, hey! Who wrote that?
fucking stop it! I'm curating that person's bad joke. Curating out. Armature. That Batman game was cool, right? But it was also probably this smaller project, rush project to come out with the release of Project or Batman Origins.
It
But I'm
didn't
saying we
seem
have
that
yet
significant.
to see this studio kind of do like an original game,
yeah.
and
Bring out the big guns.
I mean,
I'm hoping that this thing is cool. The problem is the other half of this production, or part of this production, is concept, and that's Inafune's studio. So I'm a little worried about that aspect of it.
I wonder whether that studio, how far it's involved, honestly.
I don't know. But their name's on there.
Wait, so why does that concern you? I feel like that's the one that would make you
Because
confident in the project.
Inafune is a no talent ass clown. Well, I mean that's
Wow.
that's the general opinion.
Oh yeah, that's everyone's opinion.
I
No
would say
talent. He said that so matter of
He's a
factly.
stupid butt face ass clown. That's just what I heard.
I would assume that concept is all about the art style and artwork there. I wouldn't know if they're. I wouldn't think they were working on like principal gameplay and things.
I don't
like
know.
that.
All I know is I love Metroid Prime. Next we have Super Hot, which I feel like it's a game that
Is
y'all
that
don't
really
know too much
developed
about.
by Super Hot Team?
This is a really slick looking and playing indie game that's been in development for I think a couple of years now. It started out as a game jam game, and it's a shooter where time moves as you move. So you almost play it kind of turn-based.
It continues to move, but it's incredibly slow.
It's incredibly slow. So like somebody shoots a bullet at you, and if you're not moving, you kind of move to the side. It's sort of a tactical first-person shooter because of the way time works. It looks cool. Look it up.
Hey, is there music in the background of this podcast?
Why are you
No.
asking?
Several people are saying they're hearing music in the background. It's making me nervous.
You might want to double check on that, Chris.
I mean, I'll hang on.
Why would
but
there be music?
SMG Sterling says he's been hearing it for like 6 months.
Well, he's crazy.
So he probably just needs to go see a doctor.
Have you checked your iTunes? Or something, whatever
Do you have another stream open, sir? Are you cheating
we
on
have
us?
a couple more games here on the Microsoft list /PC. Tacoma.
Yes.
Yes. Guys who made
this
Fulbright.
is Gone Home in Space, maybe.
Gone to space.
That's the popular joke.
It'd be nice if it was longer than 2 hours.
Well, wouldn't it be Phone Home?
Oh, they should totally make a sequel and call it that.
Yes.
I really like Gone Home, and Space is cool, so I bet Tacoma is going to be pretty awesome.
Dude, Tacoma, yeah.
We Happy Few. This is the new game from the developers of that PlayStation launch game. What was it called? Contrast?
Yep.
You played it, right?
Yes, I did play it. I even reviewed it.
We Happy Few. It's that sort of creepy game with the people with the weird masks.
And you know what?
Compulsion games.
Compulsion games. Okay, so, what's the game you just asked me about?
Contrast?
Contrast. Really, really cool. If nothing else, really cool, like visual and like audio design in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for We Happy Few predominantly from that perspective. I'm hoping they make a game that is less buggy because Contrast was buggy as shit.
Okay. Well, SMG's hearing gospel music.
Is it while we're talking?
It turns out everybody just has their own music playing very faintly in the background.
What in the world?
I heard
I don't know
Mariah
what's going
Carey.
on.
Somebody just
Are
said
you
that.
sure nothing? You just want to look at that computer.
I'm telling you, look, it's muted, so there wouldn't be any other sound but the mic's coming.
Could be a brain tumor.
So it's got to be coming into the mixer.
Everybody be really quiet for a second. Nope, I don't hear anything.
I still think you should go just run it and check.
There's nothing.
They're saying it's
Okay.
radio
He's just-
buzz in the background.
He's just trying to get you out
Look,
of the
there
room
you
so
go.
we can talk
Does that
shit
make you
about
feel
Killer
better?
Instinct some more.
Cinder.
Hey, Cinder.
He's a fire dude. His name is Cinder.
That makes sense.
You know,
that makes a
mock
lot
that
of
game
sense.
all you want, but it has one of the best soundtracks. It is so good.
No, I mean no. I think you're right. I've heard that.
It's from Mick Gordon.
Mick Gordon is an American hero.
He should be an American hero.
Is he even American?
Oh my god.
Mick Gordon. Sounds made up.
He is a real ass clown.
I said, it's not about every game. Just some.
Brad's is feeling exceptionally
This
bitchy
is the
tonight.
soundtrack for Wolfenstein The New Order.
Just a salty butthole.
I give you.
I'm trying to move on. Y'all keep bringing it up.
Oh, he's such a salty
Can we go to
butthole.
the next list, please?
We have Nintendo games.
Oh, this ought to
Do
be
we
quick.
want to break before Nintendo or what's
Well,
the
let's do a question first.
Oh,
and then
question.
let's go to
question, and then we'll do a break. Let me
Quick
pull up.
cue.
We gotta give Brad a chance to cool off. All right. Oh God. All right. This question comes from Chris.
Uh-oh.
Just
I
Chris.
didn't write anything.
Who would you like to see in season 3 of Killer Instinct?
As I have gotten older and have less and less time to spend on things that I love and more time on adult responsibilities, I realize I have cut out certain genres of games. simply because I don't have the time and have to focus and time or I don't have the time to focus on the games that I truly love. I started playing games during the PS1 era, and I used to be really into playing good JRPGs. But since they are very time-consuming, I rarely have time, or rarely even consider playing a game in the genre. Is there a genre like that for any of you? And if not, which genre would you give up if you had to?
Wait, that's a different question. But
Well, he said that may not be the case. Like, we play so many games. Like, for instance, there's no game genre out there that I would completely eliminate because I wouldn't have, or there is no genre that I have completely eliminated because I don't have to. I play games for the site.
Before I started doing all this with 4Player, I used to play a shit ton of online shooters. And I still kind of do, but not nearly as much as I used to.
What was your favorite?
I used to be really into Tribes, like the Tribes series. Most of those were really fucking cool. I used to be a big Halo guy.
have you heard of Destiny?
Yeah, I have played Destiny.
There's that bitch.
You know what?
There's that
I'm saying
bitchiness.
this, as I'm saying this, I'm realizing that 2015, I did play a lot of online shooters, like, including Destiny.
Did you play Splatoon?
I played like 2 matches of Splatoon. I didn't like it.
So I also used to play a lot of JRPGs in the PS1 era, like a lot. And I definitely don't play as much anymore because,
I don't play as
broadcasting
many.
and all
I don't
that.
play as many as I used to, predominantly because I feel like there has been at least for me, there has been a significant decrease in the number of appealing JRPGs that I would want to play.
I would agree with that.
Like,
I mean,
I just feel like
there's
that
a
genre.
world out there that I just think you're not as aware of, Nick.
Brad, I'm very aware of it. There are I used to play games like I obviously played Final Fantasy, I played Legend of Dragoon, I played Chrono Cross. Like those are the games.
Those are Square Enix. Those are Sony.
And you know what? And
And
the more I think about it, the more I realize that maybe I was less of a fan of that genre and more a fan of that studio and when they delved into that genre.
It also could be that you weren't exposed to a lot of other JRPGs.
Oh, I was. I had a friend who would play nothing but JRPGs, so I used to see him play all kinds of weird shit. So, I mean, I've seen a broad swath of JRPGs, and none of them have appealed to me in the same level as all of the classic.
Well, you
Square
did play
Enix.
Ni no Kuni.
I did play Ni no Kuni, and I like that game. A lot of that came from my love of Studio Ghibli, though. So
You kind of need a gateway game in order to experience these other JRPGs.
well, I mean, Final Fantasy VII was like probably the first
A lot of people's gateway.
Yeah.
was like my first gateway into like deeper games for me. So
But you weren't exactly playing Saga Frontier like this.
I tried one of the Saga games.
Yeah. They're iffy.
What was that really, really like? What's that one Saga game? I think it was for the PS2 that was known for being like super beautiful but like really bad.
Well, I mean, there's Romancing Saga. There's also Unlimited Saga.
Unlimited Saga. That's the one. I tried that.
That one is notoriously bad.
It was bad. Anyways, anybody else have an answer to that question? Chris Davis?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you as far as JRPGs, unfortunately.
All right. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick break.
Okay.
We're going to stretch our legs when we come back. What do we have next? We're going to do Nintendo
Multiplatform.
Multiplatform, and PC, right? Is it
And
PC
PC.
list? A PC list? All right. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in a second. There's a shit ton more games to talk
Maybe
about.
we should have ran down Nintendo first.
Oh, no.
It'll be quick. We'll be back.
Oh.
Quick break.
Welcome back to the show. Brad is going to lead us through our next set of
Yes, I am, Nick. We
20
have Nintendo games.
2016 releases.
2016 likely releases.
We went through Sony and Microsoft already. We were about to hit up Nintendo.
Well, no Nintendo games. The list ain't
Nintendo
long.
can't be longer than Microsoft.
They keep a lot of secrets.
Oh my god, that Wii U list is sad.
Is that your excuse? They keep a lot of secrets?
Well, I mean,
They just flat out don't release a lot of games.
That third
No.
one doesn't exist anymore, does it?
Oh, it absolutely does.
Was it really?
I mean, it's out in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's not coming to the West.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it'll come.
If it doesn't come to the West, it's not real.
Okay.
I mean, both those franchises are successful in the West. All right. We have Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, which is coming out in March.
Oh yeah, but it's being developed by that one studio that.
Yeah.
Why it was? They put Nintendo as a developer. It's being developed by a very specific studio that does.
Bad games.
Bad games.
It's being ported.
Oh
I mean,
god.
Twilight Princess
I'm
exists.
very, very, very worried
It's not
about.
like Blue Point's porting in or Nexus.
No.
Well, but
I
I
am
mean,
very concerned because I want this. I would love an excuse to go back and play Twilight Princess, but I do not want this to be a shit port. Especially after Wind Waker was such a strong port.
Is
You know,
it the
they
same developer?
No, it's not.
you know what's also strong? Machamp.
What?
From Pokemon?
From Pokemon!
Wait, that's
he has
not-
a fighter in Pokken Tournament.
Oh, is he?
Which is, I think,
I thought you were
Machamp?
mistaken.
Yeah,
Machamp?
Machamp is the third form
Machamp.
of the Machop, Machoke, Machamp evolution.
He has
He
a
has
fighter.
4 arms.
Yeah, he's a fighter in Pokken Tournament, which is the new Pokemon fighting game made by Namco.
Is that really
Yay.
what that is?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
Pokemon fighting tournament? I thought you were mistaken. Okay, never mind.
No, it's
I'm apparently out of touch with Pokemon,
it's
so
Tekken with Pokemon characters.
Yes. Well, it's different.
Wonderful.
than Tekken.
Is Jigglypuff in it?
Yeah. No.
Really?
No, Jigglypuff's not.
Then there's no.
Oh, Brad, pretending like he knows what he's
Pikachu's
talking
in it. I
about.
thought you meant Pikachu. Pikachu's in
Oh,
it.
I
They're,
got
they're like
Pikachu.
the same thing, right?
They have like Luchador Pikachu.
Why do you keep Why do you
Nice.
keep saying Pikachu?
Is that not his name?
Pikachu?
It's Pikachu.
Pikachu? Pikachu?
He's like, he calls it Pokemans. He's like an adult.
Who fucking
This
cares?
series came out in
Fuck Pikachu.
1996.
Like an
I'm pretty
adult.
sure
Pronounce Pikachu.
He's also called Pikachu.
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 There are 2-year-olds that can pronounce
Not
this
at
better
all.
than you.
Not
Is
at
it,
all.
is it never okay to say Pikachu? I've always said Pikachu.
I feel like
Pikachu?
I feel like being on a video game podcast should should imply that you know how to pronounce the word Pikachu.
All right, next up we have a game that is out in Japan. It is not called this anymore, but it was announced as Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. It resembles neither of those franchises. It has a
Weird.
very strange
I mean,
name.
that makes sense.
What's it called now?
I could not tell you if it
I
was
thought
in
it was
front
a
of me.
visual novel now.
No, it is
It's not a visual novel?
No, it's an RPG. It's out in Japan. It has a cool cover. It is not Shin Megami Tensei meets Fire Emblem, which is what I was really hoping for. I was hoping it would be like have the style of Shin Megami Tensei with the mechanics of Fire Emblem, but it is definitely not that. It's called Jinne Ibun Roku #FE.
What?
That's the title.
That is the worst subtitle of the night. I'm just kidding.
#FE.
Do we say it like that?
Or is
Pound
it
sign?
hashtag FE?
Hey, listen, where I came from, it's a fucking #. Fuck your hashtag.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Old men, new
just wondering.
technology.
Yeah.
All right, Star Fox Zero, developed by Nintendo and Platinum Games.
Weird.
Weird and looked bad at E3.
Oh, God, it was
Oh,
so
God.
Played
bad.
bad at E3.
Remember that time they showed that on a screen, but it was blurred out?
It really kind of
Yeah.
just looks like
It was talking about it while it was literally being played.
We
behind
now
him,
know
but
why it was blurred out.
They were censoring that shit.
it really kind of looks like Star Fox 64. Like
Yeah.
Was this at E3 last year? Did we have an opportunity to play this?
Yes,
this was-
there was the opportunity.
Oh, that's
Everybody
right.
wanted to.
do you remember this was
I didn't
like
want
in
to.
a corner? This was in the walkway area of PAX Prime this year, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't play it then either.
Yeah, it looks fucking dog poop.
It was at PAX Prime and you
Guys,
didn't play
but
it?
wait. What if this
Do
is our
your due
unanimous game of the
diligence.
year in 2016?
There was a line.
How do you fuck up a rail shooter? How do you fuck up a rail shooter?
You make a rail shooter. Rail shooters suck.
Rail
Sorry,
Rail
Rez.
shooters can
Sorry,
be
Panzer
good.
Dragoon. Even at their best, they're still just kind of whatever because they're rail shooters. They're like paper thin. It's like a fucking arcade game.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, fucking email me your hate. I don't
I went
care.
to pinballs for the first time this past weekend.
That is random.
is-
that
really
would
weird.
have been a good.
You said arcade games. It's like the first time I've stepped foot in an arcade in like
That would have been a great
5
vlog.
years.
Going to pinballs?
We should go to pinballs.
Dude,
Sure.
it was fucking hot in there. It was like 50 degrees
Wait, did
outside.
you go to the
and it was like
pinballs
110
down south, or-
inside. Up north. Up north.
The one down south, they're like turning into a celebration station or whatever.
What?
Wait, there's
Kind of
two
place.
pinballs?
Yeah.
There's one down in
There's
like
one.
Kyle.
There's one on 183 and there's one on Riverside.
Wait, the
Well, I know
celebration
they- No, not
station
Riverside.
still exists?
What is-
It's like down by like Kyle.
are there 3 pinballs?
there's
Hey,
only
we
two.
got really far off topic here.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
did.
That was my fault this time.
Next up, we have a game that was announced by Miyamoto.
And we don't even know.
couple months ago.
We still haven't seen this game.
Nintendo really hasn't mastered the art of
No,
announcing a game, have they?
We haven't seen it, but it came from Miyamoto's mouth himself. He says Pikmin 4 is in development, and
He said it
it's-
was almost finished when he announced it.
Yes, he said it was almost finished. Could this be like an NX launch game? You know, now's the time to talk about it while we're talking about Nintendo, but we are likely going to see the release, or at least the reveal of the NX this year.
That'll probably be at E3.
What is it going to be?
Well, I think the common suggestion is that it's going to be kind of like a Wii U with the DS for a controller,
That it's going to be
where
one
you can take a
system.
It's going to be one system, but you can take the controller with you and play on it, right?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Which could be cool.
That sounds like a mess.
The whole
I just
Nintendo products sound like a
imagine-
mess until you play them,
Yeah.
and some of them are still a mess when you play them.
I imagine this Wii U controller with like a 3DS dock that you just plug it into to play on console, and you just take it home with you wherever you want, wherever you want
It's
to go.
possible. I think we'll get our answer at E3. I think that's probably when they're going to
I
announce
just want to
it.
know about the fucking power of this system. I don't expect it to have.
You know what I
be
want to know about the
substantial.
system? I want to know what the fucking games
Dude,
are.
maybe it's just going to be a fucking smartphone.
I want to know.
It's going to be that entire list.
I want to know if this next game is going to be a fucking launch title like they did before those fucking assholes.
Oh yeah, they'll do it.
The Legend of Zelda. We don't have a name for it yet. We just know we've seen it in some form. We've seen Link
We've seen
sitting
something.
on his fucking horse in a big grassy field, and that's
And we've seen like a
he rode
canyon
around a little bit and-
demonstration.
yeah. He did stuff. He
Swiped his
vaulted
sword.
off his horse and shot some dudes with an arrow.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
No, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
If there's
Hey.
any
Yeah.
game to get excited about without knowing a lot about, might as well be a Zelda game.
Yeah,
Sure.
main console Zelda game,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Sure.
But no, yeah, they'll do the same bullshit they did for what was it, Twilight Princess. They'll take it and they'll release it on NX, and then they'll release it on Wii U like 2 weeks later. And
Or
it
you mean
won't
they'll
be
do
as
Wii U first and then NX 2 weeks later?
What if
good. No, they'll do NX first.
What if what we saw at when did we see it last? Game Awards?
Wait, what?
Zelda?
It wasn't the Game Awards. What did we see? Where he was just standing in the grass pretty much recently, the recent one.
Like I think it was
It hasn't been like a year.
Nintendo
No.
Direct from E3.
No.
It wasn't recent.
They did a Nintendo like their first big Nintendo Direct, where the one where they announced the fucking Twilight Princess HD. They also showed a little
that was just a big Nintendo Direct.
Okay, well that's where it was. What if what they were showing was NX footage?
Crap.
Well, I mean,
They
that's-
definitely didn't specify.
that is definitely a possibility.
It did look really fucking nice. Wii U's don't look that nice.
No, wait a second. Wii U can't do this.
We got some 3DS games, guys. What about Bravely Second Inlayer
Well, Bravely
Default?
Bravely Default is a game that I loved, but I did not see another Square Enix RPG that I liked. But it was so.
And it's the Square Enix RPG that Square can't believe that actually sold well.
Yeah.
I never finished that game. I wanted to. I really did. That game had a lot going for it.
Well, it's good that you didn't finish it because I hear that's where the game gets bad when you try to finish it and then it repeats itself 4 different times or whatever.
Oh, wonderful.
By the way, we've moved on to 3DS games.
We have.
I've said that. We also have Dragon Quest 7 and 8, which are getting ported. Those came out in Japan. They're getting ported to the 3DS. Or, I'm sorry, Dragon Quest 8 is a port. Dragon Quest 7 is a remake. And it is quite a hefty remake as well, which is cool because the PS1 version of that game, from what I understand, kind of had some problems. some pacing problems. And this is a brand new game, so I think this is maybe the more exciting of the two, since technically, I guess there's nothing keeping you from playing Dragon Quest VIII on your PS2 or whatever.
Well, we're gonna be playing Dragon Quest VIII for the Revival Club in 2016,
Yes.
and I would like to be able to play the 3DS version. I don't even own a PS2 right now.
Didn't 8
So-
come out in like 03, 04, something like that?
I believe Dragon Quest VIII on the 3DS removes some of the voice acting, though.
Oh,
Some
well,
of it.
Probably didn't.
I
wanna
had
play
forgotten
the
it had
themes.
voice acting. So hey, there's that. Anyways, moving on.
Final Fantasy Explorers, which this is actually coming out very soon, January 29th. This is Final Fantasy meets Monster Hunter. And they have a lot of characters from the series.
Okay, stop playing with the Metroid.
Sorry. They have like characters from the series you can play as, which seem kind of cool. I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, if you like your Monster Hunter, you like Monster Hunter, right, Crispy?
Monster Hunter's pretty cool.
You at all interested in Final Fantasy Explorers?
Like, what are you gonna hunt down like
you know,
Marlboros?
This one kind of flew
Yeah,
under my radar.
yeah.
I didn't
Cigarettes?
You
You
said
mean
Final Fantasy
Marlboros?
meets Monster Hunter, and that's like the first time hearing about it.
Oh wow. Well, you should look up some footage. It's so like imagine, like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
But when you go out with your friends to fight, instead of a big dinosaur looking thing, you fight like a
Like
fucking
the Hobbit
Marlboro
or some
yeah.
shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like classic, like a behemoth.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
It's out in Japan. It looks cool. Fire Emblem Fates. This is a big one that
Isn't
I'm
this,
excited about.
this is 2 games, right?
This is sort of 2 games. Yeah.
it's
Fire
really
Emblem Red
weird.
and
how-
Fire Emblem Blue.
well, it's
Not like that.
they
there
have
are
different
2
stories.
different characters.
I think it's like called like Bloodlines and
It's called
Conquest
Fates.
or something?
Oh yeah,
they're 2 different parts.
Conquest and like Bloodlines or whatever.
And you can buy them both for like $80.
Well, you can buy all 3 for $80 because there's kind of a third storyline too that was DLC in Japan. You're going to be able to get that as well. What it is you play the first few missions, and at a certain point in the story, and those are the same in both games. Certain point in the story, you choose whether
Conquest.
Birthright or Conquest. You choose whether to side with your blood relatives.
Yeah.
Your family?
The nation that like either the nation that raised you or the nation that
stole
is
you.
your like ethnicity, like
Or the nation that like stole you and raised you since a child. And depending on what you choose, it starts off 2 different games.
You get a whole Theon Greyjoy thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
But the interesting thing is
Hopefully
there
not.
are like some big differences. Like one's supposed to be a lot harder than the other. I need to find out which it is and which I should be playing because I'm probably gonna end up playing both. I don't know. What do we have next?
Mario and Luigi
Mario
Paper Jam.
Yeah, that one's already been out in Europe. I hear it's kind of okay. Like those games have been lately.
Oh.
It seems like there hasn't been a really good one since Bowser's Inside Story.
Oh, that was so good.
So that's a little frustrating. But because I really want those games to be awesome, like Superstar Saga was back in the day. But who knows? And I guess that's. I guess that's it.
Is that it?
Is it?
That's it.
Is that it, Brad?
That's all we have for Nintendo.
Does that say Metroid there?
This is a Metroid game
That's
coming.
Metroid. What's
Metroid-
that all about, Brad?
PC. We have a list of PC games here.
You don't want to talk about Metroid Prime Federation Force?
I think we just did.
Federation. No, there is no Metroid game. The last Metroid is in captivity. I have it here. Metroid is dead.
We've always been at war with Eurasia,
Yeah. What?
East Asia.
What?
1984. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Well, I was referencing Super Metroid, but I didn't know you were going to get all heady on me. Sorry. We have a kind of a long list of PC games here. I could skip over a couple of these, maybe. Allison Road. You're kind of interested in that, right?
I am
that's
interested in the sense that Allison
PT's
Road is a
inspired.
spiritual successor to PT, but it is also not Silent Hills, and it also has not established itself as a much more of a game, because PT was very much a
Experience.
an experience. It was just a tease for a full blown game. I want to know. I don't think they can just recreate PT in a bigger house
And sell it for
and sell it for.
$23.
It's not just a house.
I know.
Yeah,
You go into environments, and they are showing. I've been checking out the Kickstarter, or not before they switched over to they were funded. I was looking at the Kickstarter and whatnot. Wait, what?
I'm hearing like somebody getting text messages or
That
something.
that would be me.
But you're in airplane mode.
I'm also connected to your Wi-Fi.
So you're getting text messages?
Anyways, my problem with Allison Road is so far is that they have not yet demonstrated what they're going to do to like take it beyond the concept of PT. But they were funded.
Horror game in a
horror game.
in a location.
I am definitely going to play it. It looks scary as shit.
We might be skipping ahead a little bit,
That's
but
not a
you know
VR
a
game,
game
is it?
I played in 2015 in early access that is getting a final release in 2016 is a game that kind of did PT but turned it into a more fully featured game, and that's Layers of Fear, which was actually pretty damn cool.
You played that fairly recently, right?
Yeah, I did, and it was good. So don't count out like the whole walking around a house horror game, because there is stuff you can do with it.
Don't get me wrong. I loved PT, and I will definitely be playing Allison Road. Maybe with some friends. Y'all want to come over and
Absolutely.
I definitely don't want to play that by myself.
Here's a big one for
The trailer
do
for that made me scream.
Here's a big one for me. Divinity Original Sin 2 was successfully kickstarted and is slated. Oh my
Holy
god!
shit!
What the fuck? How? Oh my god! How's the door?
You didn't close your door.
There's gunfire.
Why is he scared?
There's gunfire or something going on outside.
You didn't hear that?
It's fireworks going on.
No.
God.
There's a public park
Dude.
across the street, and obviously a drug deal just went bad.
Open carry.
And someone, yeah,
No, he's
someone
scared.
walked into my work with a gun the other day. It was like really kind of fucking weird.
Guys, this
I
podcast
forgot
is
that
getting
was a thing.
derailed.
All right, everybody shut
I'm
up.
sorry. Okay.
Everybody shut up.
Should I close the door?
Close the door.
Please close the door. All
Open carry.
Oh my god. That was so funny.
All
Holy
right.
shit.
right.
That
All right.
scared the shit out of me.
Well, I'm sure Hyde's the most scared right now. He's shaking.
Oh, man.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is a big game for me. It is slated to come out this year. I could see it getting pushed back a little bit.
Nice.
But we'll see. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen comes out in January for the PC.
Fucking
Just a couple weeks.
Maybe
I can't wait.
Maybe I will eventually play Dragon's
I'll
Dogma.
go
You
that
should.
again.
You
I'll
absolutely
fucking
should.
double dip.
That's a good game. And you know what? That game, it was like barely holding itself together on last gen consoles. So I'd like to see it looking nice on a PC. Dreadnought, I know a couple of y'all are excited.
Yeah, isn't that the game that...
Dude,
Yeah.
Dreadnought is great.
It's really good.
I've played Dreadnought at like 2 or 3 different shows now, and it's a lot of fun. It is an online competitive shooter, so I don't know how much
But
I'm going to
it-
be playing it once it actually
It's not
comes
a
out.
shooter. It's a
It's
ship
capital
game.
ships
It's
in
a
space.
it's a capital ship shooter. You're flying your ship around shooting other ships. It's a
Yeah.
shooter.
Don't call it a shooter.
It's a shooter. That's exactly what it is. You just happen to be a giant ship that moves really slowly as opposed to a person.
There was a series of PlayStation 2 games called Warship Gunner, and my brother was infatuated. That's how I know him. But yeah, it plays pretty much like that, except on a 3D plane.
Final Fantasy IX. Have you seen the trailer for the PC release of Final Fantasy IX, Nick?
I have not, but
You should check it out because it's looking
Final
pretty
Fantasy
good.
9 is my favorite Final Fantasy.
Well, you've never seen Final Fantasy IX like this before. It's looking a lot better.
Really?
I mean, have you popped it in a PS1 lately? It looks like dog shit. This PC version has cleaned up quite a bit. So if you're a Final Fantasy IX fan, you should definitely watch that
I will
trailer.
definitely be playing that.
Firewatch is coming out
I
in
almost
February.
downloaded Final Fantasy 9.
Firewatch. I'm
My
excited
Vita
about
over the break, but I
Firewatch.
didn't.
Firewatch.
Firewatch is very, very high on my anticipation
From
list,
Campo
I'll say
Santo.
that.
These are former The Walking Dead Season 1 guys who left Telltale
I
after...
can't really explain to you why I'm excited for Firewatch, other than I think it just
I
sounds like a cool
can tell you what sold me.
It sounds like
just
a
really
cool concept. It looks beautiful. Wait,
The last trailer they put out, and towards the end where he's way out in the wilderness, he's talking to the woman on the line, and they're conversating, and she's like, "I've been talking to you in the radio tower for hours."
oh,
Who's
that's
up
right.
there?
It establishes that element of mystery to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks
What
like
the fuck?
it looks like it might be a little creepy.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It is. It has like a
There's-
world to it that you're kind of
There's something else
inhabiting,
going on.
exploring.
Yeah.
But it has the dialogue system of like the Telltale games they used to work on, except you're just communicating with this person over the radio. So you're having dialogue as you're kind of walking around that world, and you can kind of like click on things in the environment and like talk to the other person about them on the other end of the radio. It just seems like a really cool way to deliver a story. There's actually this game that came out in 2015 that I heard about, where it's like a dialogue game where you're talking to people while driving a car, but you still have to like drive a car and like avoid traffic and stuff as you're talking to people.
Wow.
I don't know what this game is, but I have to play it.
I don't think it's like goofy, but it seems really interesting.
That makes me think of EnviroBear 2010. I don't know why, but it does.
I don't think it's
Didn't
like
you
that.
skip a few games? Can you scroll up a little bit?
No, you didn't really.
I did skip a couple games.
Oh,
but
okay, never mind.
those aren't. I mean,
Never mind.
real-time curating. I mean, no one.
Yeah, but you established very early on that your curating is kind of bullshit.
Okay,
so
those are troll. That would okay. Me skipping No Man's Sky and Ace Combat was intentional, completely. I know. Okay.
Thank you for explaining it, Brad.
Thanks.
He can't wait to get to the game.
Does
that you're
anybody
excited
care
for,
about
so he can
Fortnite?
Does it still exist?
speak. Maybe.
Does anybody here care about Homeworld Deserts of Karak, which isn't even really a Homeworld game?
I've got a friend of mine that's actually super excited for it.
It's not even really a Homeworld. This is a game that was in development by this studio that Gearbox was like, "Hey, do y'all want to turn this into a Homeworld game?" And they were like, "Sure." It's not even in space. It's all in atmosphere.
On a desert world called Karak.
So I don't know.
I thought it was supposed to be like a prequel to Homeworld, actually.
You can call it whatever you want. It's made up. It's shoehorned in.
Whatever.
Hob.
That is very excited for.
Hob is a game.
We played that.
Y'all really liked at PAX.
We played that at
Yes.
PAX Prime, and holy shit, it was
It
good.
showed
Very nice.
Showed very well.
It was very cool. Very, very cool looking game. There's not a whole.
What is it?
It's like
Puzzly Zelda?
Yeah,
it
it's
is
like
a
a
puzzly
it's like
Zelda
a
game.
puzzly, platformy, adventure-y, weirdy game.
But you have like these. Isn't it kind of built around a gauntlet or like?
yeah, he has like a glove that like you can power up basically, and
Yeah.
that opens up new areas and lets you do different things.
Yeah, the key selling points are the art style, which is fantastic,
Yeah.
and the fact that the puzzles are actually built into the world.
Yeah.
So you're actually manipulating the world in order to go to new areas and solve puzzles.
Like most
The
puzzles
whole
involve.
world is like this giant like clockwork kind of
Yeah.
mechanism.
So like every puzzle you end up solving actually ends up moving parts of the world around.
interesting stuff.
Law Breakers. That is the first game by Cliffy B's new studio, Boss Key Productions, and it's a shooter, multiplayer
it's
arena
a
shooter.
post-apocalyptic arena multiplayer shooter.
Post-apocalyptic, is it?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I mean, I wish Cliffy
we
B
know?
all the best, but
Yeah, do we know
not
it?
even Titanfall could set the world on fire. So, like, kind of a multiplayer-only
Cliffy
shooter
B.
these days.
Oh, wait, Titanfall? You haven't played Rainbow, so I don't
I haven't
honestly...
played Rainbow.
Yeah,
Rainbow
but I mean,
Six.
Rainbow isn't necessarily.
Yeah, I heard that's a
setting the world on
glorified-
fire.
Oh my God! Rainbow Six Siege came out this year or
Yes.
last year.
Yes, it
yeah, I
did.
heard it's a $60 free-to-play game.
No, it isn't, sir, and it's actually very good.
I heard it's good.
Dude, it's
I also heard it kind of feels like a $60 free-to-play game with the way they do all the
I mean,
microtransactions and stuff,
and the way they're handling their season pass and DLC.
progression and whatnot.
we're digressing again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
whatever, sorry.
Mount and Blade Bannerlord. Is it going to come out in 2016? Please God, please
We have
God,
no
run on my
idea.
computer.
But all we know is that we won't really be ready until the new version of the Song of Ice and Fire mod comes out.
Yeah.
So who knows how much longer?
That's
after,
not true. Star Wars mod.
Yeah, Star Wars mod.
Whatever. You
That
know,
was the stupidest thing.
that was
nerds.
awesome.
But even when Bannerlord does come out, it's gonna be how long until these new versions of these mods hit?
So Bannerlord is the game I would build a new computer for, even though it's not like probably the most
You probably won't
demand.
have to.
Well, no. But the thing about Bannerlord is the better your computer, the more units you could have out on the battlefield. So
It's just good.
There's actual physical limitations based on what you're...
yeah,
Wow.
I'm worried about my. I'm a little worried about whether my computer could run Bannerlord that well. What else? Oh, Quadrilateral Cowboy.
I can't believe that game's not out yet. I
I
played that
can't-
like
yeah.
2 years ago, and it's cool.
It is really cool.
Was that game waiting for them to implement like an art style, or was that art style that we saw like actually in the game?
That's probably earlier
'Cause
placeholder.
that was giving me vibes of what's the game? Sorry, not you, Manti. I was not snapping at you. What's the game we always play at PAX? No one loves.
Crypt of the Necrodancer.
No, no.
Spaceships.
No, the game where you're spying.
Spy Party.
Spy Party. Sorry,
Wow.
I totally
It didn't
blanked.
look like Spy Party, but
No,
it did
it
look.
did not.
I
There
mean, it
wasn't a
looked,
lot of texture.
it looked pretty bare bones.
Flat shaded.
And now look at Spy Party. It looks fucking gorgeous. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if maybe if that was a placeholder style.
Regardless, Quadrilateral Cowboy is a game that you might not be aware of, but you definitely should.
It teaches you like its own like programming rules and
You're
logic.
a spy / hacker spy. It's fucking cool. Does anybody know anything about Radio the Universe? I heard several
don't.
people tell
No,
me to.
honestly, no.
Okay, I watched a video.
No, but
I
that
don't
sounds
know
like
much
a
about it.
cool name.
Well, maybe look it up, Crispy. Routine, is that thing gonna
They said
No, I didn't mean that.
they said on Lunar Software's website they said that this was going to be a big year for them.
What does that mean?
So hopefully we hear something about a release date this year. Maybe, I don't know.
It's a big year. We're going to announce a release date
Oh god.
for 2018.
Hey, they had nothing last year. Absolutely fucking. Not even for like half of 2014. They didn't have anything.
We'll see. Moving on.
we
The
have-
last video they showed of that was from 2013.
Also coming out in 2016 is the new game from a garbage studio, Spy Jinx. Are y'all familiar with Spy Jinx? This is J.J. Abrams is helping out with this project. We don't really know what it is. We just know that it's a project in association with J.J. Abrams
You're just
and a garbage
really
studio.
upset that it's not
it-
Shadow Complex 2.
Is it like a reboot or a
that
remake
garbage
of an
studio
older
you're referring to
franchise?
is Chair.
Yeah.
Chair Interactive, yes, that garbage studio that cut a whiff of money and just gave up on everything.
They just recently released Shadow Complex Remastered on PC. It's coming to modern consoles.
Yeah,
Give them a chance.
What reason would they have to put? I mean, never mind. Let's not talk about it. Point is, you're gonna feel like shit when they announce, fucking.
No, I want to feel happy.
You're gonna feel shitty for all the shitty things you just said.
Nope.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot.
We
Brad
should
has.
have had Shadow Complex 2 years ago.
I forgot. Brad has no soul. I always forget that. It's
No conscience. It's different. Star Citizen, is that coming out in any form this year?
Yes, they
Let's
said
ask-
Squadron 42 is
Fuck
coming
yeah.
out this year. They should have like an alpha or like pre-beta for the expanding universe, the MMO aspect, but they will have the single player fighter based in space thing, later this year.
Okay.
Fucking A.
Here's just
It'll have Mark Hamill.
somebody asked this question. I feel
And
like
Gary
in
Oldman.
chat,
And Gary
or
Oldman.
this came up in conversation when you weren't here, Crispy, and it was why is Crispy so excited about No Man's Sky and he barely talks about Star Citizen anymore?
Dude, I have $70 in the Star Citizen. Like, I'm ready to
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
and
waiting
everybody
for it.
else, but-
I'm wait like
Crispy is already balls deep in Star Citizen.
I have put Star Citizen out of my brain because every time I've loaded up the alpha, it's been unplayable. And I just get like so fucking excited that I'm like, oh man, I just want to play a fucking space game, and I try loading it up and it's super disappointing, and like I don't want to think about Star Citizen until it's out. And No Man's Sky is just doing, they're just launching. They're not doing crowdfunding, they're not doing like a beta, they're not doing any of that shit, they're just launching. So to me, right now,
Okay.
No Man's Sky seems closer than Star Citizen.
Way to defend yourself, Crispy.
Here's one that I can't wait for the final release of. It's Subnautica. I played this early in 2015. It was amazing. I booted it up last night, and my computer was struggling. I'm a little worried.
You know why I'm
But it is
excited
very,
for
very
Subnautica?
pretty. What
Because
the
I didn't
fuck?
play it when it was an alpha. Or
It's cool. It's like Minecraft in an ocean. System Shock 3. I don't think that should be on here.
I doubt that's coming this year.
That was just announced. We don't even know what that
Shock
is.
game,
I
don't
am
think
excited
so.
to see what that game is.
What should be on here, though, is the System Shock Remaster, which is coming in 2016.
It's
right?
coming from
Night Dive.
Night Dive, who just recently put out Turok, and the work they put into that was pretty good. So
I was watching
It
you
was
play.
also
I was watching you play. What the hell does that mean?
Nothing.
I was watching you play
It's
Turok,
amazing
Chris. Made me want to play Turok.
Well, you should play Turok.
NTH, GTH, DGD, CRT, DTRK.
No, it doesn't work anymore.
it does work.
It does work.
I entered that cheat code and it worked just fine.
Did anybody here play that Dragon Cancer at PAX?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
game
because
fucking-
I
That game
was-
fucking wrecked me, man. I came out of that booth like crying, and there was just a bunch of other crying people.
There were just
and we
people
all
hugging.
hugged, and then fucking Jerry, what's his face from Penny Arcade was like right there, and I was like, oh. Hi. And I was like a fucking.
And then you hugged him.
Yeah, and I hugged him. Yeah.
off to the side of the booth, they've got a recovery area with counselors and cookies and things like
Really?
that.
Dude, that game. No, they
No.
didn't. But
That's
that game
offensive.
is fucking like rough.
Well,
If you like to be
I believe we
emotionally
found out
damaged.
that his son
he
since
wasn't
passed
exaggerating
away.
though. Literally, there was just a gaggle of people crying and hugging each other
Dude, they
outside
had
of that
they
booth.
had Kleenex boxes all over the booth. Like it's fucking.
Yeah, I
it's-
did not.
it's tough,
I did
man.
not subject myself to it.
That's really tough.
But
'Cause
I'm sure it's a fine
concept of the
game.
game actually seems kind of
It is really like,
powerful.
It is, and
Oh,
it's
it's
really
powerful.
it's really artistically done. It seems to be really well done. Like the part that I was playing is like it's the father like with his kid in the hospital, and the kid's laying in bed, and it's around the time that they're doing like chemo treatment for it, and like the art design is all really like pale and gray, except for like the chemo drugs are like this really bright green, so it's like the only thing you can really like see in the room, and like the kid is crying the whole time, and like the dad is trying to like calm him down and everything, and it's like you can just feel your heart breaking.
You know.
It's terrible.
Fun.
Yeah.
A game that actually I think we found out today is going to go into early access either at the end of this month or the beginning of February. Torment Tides of Numenera. That is the spiritual successor to Planescape Torment, made by In Exile, who it was a very successful Kickstarter.
Wasn't that like 2 years ago, though?
It was 2 years ago. They have since released Wasteland 2. That was also In Exile, which was pretty well received. So I have high hopes for this game.
Yeah.
And they are going with a turn-based combat system this time around instead of that crap that was in Planescape Torment. Total War Warhammer. There's a lot of people who are really excited about this.
This seems really interesting.
Yeah.
I wish it was Warhammer 40K.
Everyone who's seen it too
That
are
is
like, damn,
two.
this is cool.
Count it, 2 Creative Assembly games that are not Alien Isolation 2.
But Creative Assembly was making
Shut up, Brad!
strategy games long before
I don't care.
they made Alien Isolation.
I don't want anything else from Creative Assembly other
What
than
if
more
they
Alien
made
games.
To say that
War
Creative
Alien.
Assembly should make more Alien game and not Total War is silly.
Yeah, it's kind of.
They've got to get this money out so they can build Alien Isolation
Yeah.
2.
I want them to make another Viking game.
I want you to shut your mouth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That
That was uncalled for.
Unsung Story.
Does this still exist?
I mean, whatever. Playdeck was a reputable mobile developer. You know, this is the Yasumi Matsuno associated project
Strategy.
strategy. I mean, it's a strategy RPG, like Final Fantasy Tactics. It was, but now they're working on a multiplayer beta.
Don't touch this. Don't touch my dog.
They were
You keep your hands.
working on. Weren't
don't
they
wanna
gonna
lick-
do like a fucking card game and everything with this as well? They had a lot of grand designs, I think. Are you just really sad now?
Yeah, Hyde said too. And finally, on this PC list, we have a game that's coming out in February that I am very excited about,
Fuck
and
yeah.
that is XCOM Dose.
Damn straight.
Oh, it's looking good too. Fucking Hyde, you can sit here, but you can't keep bumping the mic, bro.
And we were excited
So
for
let's
XCOM.
talk more about Alien Isolation,
Way to kill the momentum, huh?
which was
Yeah.
so good.
We got to keep moving because we have a very long multi-platform list
That's very
Oh my
true.
God.
with 75 games on it.
So
That's
let me
only-
scroll
oh.
up.
We only have 75. Wait, do we have time for a quick question?
Yes, we do.
A quick question from our patrons this week. I'm sorry, I didn't have it pulled up and ready to go. Ryan Does Art asks, what sequel to what franchise do you think will be announced next year that hasn't already been announced? To clarify, I'm not asking what
Watch
sequels.
Dogs.
I'm not asking what sequels you want to be
That's
announced,
rigged.
just the sequels to games, regardless of how you personally feel about them, that you think will be announced.
Watch Dogs.
That's rigged.
I think Watch Dogs is.
There's rumors that there's
Like
going
a-
to be no Assassin's Creed games.
I know. I am
That's
very
crazy,
excited.
right?
Not only is there no Assassin's Creed next year, potentially, when it does return, it's potentially going to Egypt with a renewed emphasis on present day sequences. That's exciting.
I didn't
last
read
two
that.
parts
I
kinda
didn't read
suck.
that.
Yes, that is a rumor.
Those last two parts kind of suck, but maybe they'll bring multiplayer back.
You shut your
What
mouth.
is wrong with you?
I feel like there is a 100% chance we will be playing Watch Dogs this year. Or not me, but somebody.
I'll be playing it.
I'll play it. I will play
I think. Do you think this is the year that Resident Evil 7 will be announced?
No.
No, because we have another Resident Evil game coming out, which we'll get to in a second.
No, I think
But that's
it's,
not a-
I think it's time for a new Resident Evil announcement.
I
Dude.
mean, I don't
That
have any
being
faith
said,
in
I don't
Capcom.
think it's going to be Resident Evil.
Dude,
I
the
don't
Resident
have
Evil
any-
that you're referring to is just a re-release.
No, I'm not.
Wait, what Resident Evil
There
game
is
are
a
you?
brand new Resident Evil game coming out.
What
Yeah,
are you
We will
talking?
get to that.
Yeah, well, I know what he's talking about. We'll get to it.
Oh, that shitty game.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You think they'll announce a Bloodborne 2 this year?
No,
Probably.
I think they will.
Yeah, I think they probably will.
I mean, at the rate at which they've been churning out
I mean,
these
do
games.
we think do we
It's-
actually think that they are gonna do another Bloodborne though?
Yes.
Yes.
Bloodborne was
Absolutely.
insanely successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
But you don't think
They're concluding Dark Souls. They've
Dark
got to
Souls
move
in
on to
March,
something else.
E3, you got the net.
they had said that Dark Souls 3 was gonna be their last Souls game, and that they were moving on to other projects. You
Yeah, like
don't think
Bloodborne
they're
2. Yeah, no, there'll be a Bloodborne 2. For sure.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, even if you don't want to believe that they're going to keep churning out these Souls games every year, like From Software has done this for a long time. They would put out like fucking Armored Core games like no tomorrow, like all the time.
I'm gonna make a prediction because it is the same people that leaked the Assassin's Creed. This Assassin's Creed rumor also leaked the Assassin's Creed Syndicate rumors before that was announced. So it's highly likely that these rumors are going to prove true.
Yeah.
Since it's likely that we may not get an Assassin's Creed game this year, I'm going to say we'll probably get a Splinter Cell.
We're getting a
I
Watch
would
Dogs
like
game.
that.
Because when did Blacklist come out? 2 years ago?
Yeah,
I
but-
want to go out on a very thin limb and suggest that
I jounced
we
the
will-
limb, like Finney.
That wasn't the question, Chris Davis. The question was which games do we think are likely to be announced?
No, okay.
Not this is a thin limb. It may not happen.
Well, I don't know what franchise it's going to be from. I'm going to assume we're going to get a new Rockstar title announcement.
And the only one that it could possibly be is Red Dead at this
no,
point.
bully. Please, bully.
But the thing is, we
Please,
haven't
bully.
had a new
Dude,
official Rockstar
Red
title
Dead
in
is their
2 years.
moneymaker outside of GTA.
Fuck moneymakers, man. There's a lot more you can do with another bully game than yet another Wild West game.
I call horse shits.
It's fucking true. Like, all Wild West is the same shit.
I
No,
call
it's not.
horse
No,
shit.
it's what? How many westerns have you seen in your life?
I know there's different tones.
We're not measuring.
But
our,
I'm saying...
we're
You're
not
not answering
measuring
the
our
question.
Western dicks here. Okay, let's move on.
Man. What are we talking about?
We're talking about our dicks, our Western dicks.
Are we still answering a question?
Yes, we were. We digressed. Let's move on to the multi-platform
Oh
list.
my God.
Okay, let's move on to multi-platform.
Fuck bully.
Before my
Move
head
on.
explodes.
The
You know what'd be
novelty of
cool
Red
is
Dead
if
has passed.
Rockstar did a samurai game.
The novelty of Red Dead has passed.
The question was not which one do we want; it's what do we think is likely. And I think
Bully
Red
2.
Dead is far more likely than Bully 2.
I don't-
I think Red Dead. I think a sequel to Red Dead is much more likely than a sequel to Bully. But Bully is really cool.
Fuck it, we're gonna get Manhunt 3,
Abzu.
Yeah.
Abzu.
which could be cool.
Multi-platform games is what we're doing now.
Abzu. That's the one where you're swimming around in the ocean.
Wait, I can't see the list.
It's like Journey
Give me a second.
underwater.
I played that. Somebody actually convinced me for a minute that I was playing the next game from that game company, and I was like, "What?" But it's not.
Adrift is the space game by that dude who was a jerk,
Who's a jerk?
who got fired because he's like the fucking dude who was like, if you live in podunk towns and your internet sucks, you should just move. Deal
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it. Deal with it. And he got fired.
But Adrift is the one where you're like the Sandra Bullock in Gravity, like floating around a wrecked
Yes.
space station.
Yes, it's also coming to VR, which we haven't really talked about.
Looks cool.
There's a lot of titles on here that are coming to VR that we are not, or there's a lot of titles that we didn't put on here that are coming to VR this year because I kind of want to lump those all together. Let me ask you, I guess, before we start the rest of this multi-platform list, what are y'all's feelings on VR? Are you gonna get a headset this year?
Dude, if they are within a reasonable price range, I would like to get a headset. I'm pretty like excited about the whole VR
I've played
thing.
with some VR at PAX Prime, I think. And I was pretty damn impressed. I think it all comes down to what software is available. Like, I want to see actual games, not tech demos.
I appreciate that. Like they said, Oculus Rift is going to launch with a free copy of Eve Valkyrie and Lucky something or other. I forget what
it
it was.
looks like a little kid
The thing is,
platformer.
I actually played with Sony's at the time Morpheus, and I was really impressed. And the idea of playing a VR game, but still playing with a PlayStation controller seems really cool to me.
Yeah.
See-
like I don't want to buy into this like I don't want to be like, you know, like I want to be able to control a game in the exact same way that I've always controlled a game, but be in
Have
the
your
space.
viewing experience be
Exactly.
3D VR.
That would be cool.
My thing is, I think I want a VR headset. I don't want an Oculus. I don't want the HTC Vive or whatever it is. I want the Star VR.
Which is what?
It's the Starbreeze decided to make their own VR
that's
headset.
right. I forgot about
But
that.
This thing's not coming out.
The interesting it may not come out this year, whatever. But the fact is, it uses a dual 4K display, and
How much is that going to cost?
I don't know. It's probably going to be. They said it's a premium headset. It's going to be more expensive.
The amounts of money,
But the thing is, for me, is
which means not a lot of support.
the important thing is the viewing angle to me,
We got to move.
because you got to consider peripheral vision. The Oculus goes to like 110 degrees. The Star VR does 210. So you got peripheral vision. You can see more. So that's what interests me.
Sony's VR was pretty good. I don't know what the degrees were, but whatever. Anyways, moving on.
Banner Saga 2, I'm kind of excited.
Oh yeah.
You did play the shit out of
Also, there's a Banner Saga's coming to consoles if y'all didn't play the first one.
I didn't.
Actually,
Very soon.
a game you skipped over that's actually not on the list that came out today, one of the first new releases, Amplitude.
Amplitude, yeah.
The brand new Amplitude game.
That's right.
That was a successful Kickstarter.
From Harmonix, the guys behind Rock Band and all that.
Do we know what the consensus is on that yet?
Supposedly it's very good.
Reviews
Good
are
rate- good
solid.
ratings.
Reviews are solid. Batman, a Telltale series.
I'm interested to play that
The out
solely
of
because
nowhere
it's
Telltale
Batman and it's a Telltale game.
Obviously, Batman is intriguing, but like I really am just waiting to see what they're gonna do with it art wise, what they're gonna do with it story wise. Like who fucking knows?
Hey,
just
Crispy.
saying Batman could be anything.
Hey, Crispy. Last night I finished Tales from the Borderlands.
What'd you think?
I thought it was great.
I fucking love.
I
Tales from
appreciate your
Borderlands.
recommendations, and I'm glad when I complete them.
What in the fuck?
Battleborn, you don't care about.
That was almost like a nice moment, and then he just fucking like ruined it.
It was really
This is
good.
why I don't like Brad.
Holy shit, that was so
I am
good.
glad you recommended it to us because I feel like we were all kind of tired of the Telltale formula, and we were all ready to pass on it.
I know.
And you took a chance.
I did.
Just stop
I'm
while
a
you're ahead,
fucking-
Brad. Just stop while you're ahead. I know where that's going.
Chasm. I'm very, very much looking forward to Chasm.
By the way, I watched
Why is Chasm not out yet?
the original last night.
Okay.
89?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Wait, not the Adam West, but the 89.
How was it?
The 89 movie.
How was it?
That movie,
It hasn't aged.
it has... It what?
That's a
Hasn't aged
fine
well.
film.
It has not aged well.
It's a fine film.
It's not a bad movie, but it is... But my Batman standards are way higher now.
Speaking of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I think Chasm is channeling all the right parts of that. I can't wait. It's been in like alpha forever. I'm ready for it to come out. Or it's not even been in like public alpha. It's
Speaking of Castlevania games, what about Bloodstained?
that's officially 2017.
Yeah,
It is?
That's a ways off.
Oh, I thought it was 2016. Okay.
Crossing
Bummer.
Souls, I don't know what that is. Dark Souls 3 is coming out in April.
Fuck it, I'm still stoked about
I'm
this
definitely
game.
gonna play it.
I'm stoked to... My goal is to at least finish Dark Souls 1 before April.
We know.
Dude,
But
this
I'm
one's-
still going to wait until I finish Dark Souls 2 to play
This one's
3.
gonna be tough, man. This is gonna be a tough one.
What do you mean? What do you mean tough?
I mean just like the way that the new like they bloodborned up all the enemies, so they're still like
They're super
they're
aggressive.
still, you know, like kind of tough and a little beefier like Souls enemies always were, but they're a lot quicker and more aggressive like Bloodborne enemies are.
a shield.
Are they?
You do, but they're also pretty good about getting around your shield, it seems like, too.
I just hope that it has the same kind of animation and style system as Bloodborne did, because that's one of the things that really sold me about Bloodborne, just that hit contact and reaction from the enemy.
I just can't wait to see the lore. I love the lore. I'm sorry.
Darkest
I
Dungeon.
can't look Chris Davis in the eyes without smiling when
Well,
I say that.
I made a Bloodborne lore joke today, so
I bet you
okay.
did.
Just a
you
couple
son of a
weeks away,
bitch.
we are finally going to get the final release of Darkest Dungeon, another game I started early access early last year, and that game's kind of incredible. So I can't wait for the final release. I'm going to play
That
the
game
shit
seems like
out of it.
forever ago.
Gonna play the shit out of it. Day of the Tentacle remastered, another Tim Schafer classic getting remastered, available for everybody. That's really good news. Dead Island 2.
Okay.
Let's not talk about
Is
Dead
Dead Island 2 still happening?
No. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Why would
Let's
that
move
even
on.
be happening
Just move
anymore?
on.
That game looked like garbage at E3.
Death's
really was garbage.
You know what didn't look like garbage? Death's Gambit actually looked pretty cool.
Dude, Death's Gambit looks so good.
Yeah.
That's coming out this year.
When is that coming? Is there a date on that?
No, 2016. Likely 2016 at least. One that is coming out for sure in 2016 is Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
They got pushed out of 2015. What was 2015? Wasn't it?
It was October 2015. Then I got pushed for February.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's been
and then
pushed
it got
back
pushed again.
to May. I think
No, I think it's August or something.
August.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Actually, August doesn't sound right.
I could be wrong, but hey,
Also,
I'll take some more Deus Ex.
I feel like one we've kind of forgotten about, but we definitely shouldn't. That is Dishonored 2.
Damn
I
straight.
think we've
man,
only
we haven't
forgotten
really
about
talked
it because we haven't seen gameplay of it yet. But
Yeah.
Hey, Arcane is working on 2 different projects though.
is the other one
Okay,
Prey 2?
let-
It could be.
Just
You never
stop
know.
it. Just stop
Either way,
it.
I'm really excited for Dishonored 2. I'm going to play through that game like 4 or 5 times. I know it. I
Yeah.
know it.
Dishonored 2 will be great.
Dragon Quest 11.
Whoa. Whoa. Rewind. What does that say?
Pump the brakes.
Dollhouse? I don't know what that is.
Oh my fucking
What is
god.
Dollhouse?
The fuck is wrong with you? A little game from id Software called Doom. It's
Doom?
coming out this year. It's coming out this spring.
Does id Software
It
still
is.
exist in any form?
It is a little.
It
game.
made this game.
I have a
Sure.
question, Brad. I have a serious question.
Yes.
Are you just doing this because you think it's funny because it gets to Chris Davis, or do you
Well, yeah.
legitimately give zero shits about Doom?
Well, a little bit of both. No, I mean, I think what we saw of Doom looked fine. I might play it if it's good.
Tell you what. I am under a non-disclosure agreement about this game.
Is this still talking about this QuakeCon?
I played the closed alpha, okay?
Oh, yeah,
I have
that's right.
played this game. I was looking forward to Doom beforehand. Now I'm really
And now-
excited.
and now
You're
I
not
am-
allowed to say that.
Now I am
I
stroking.
can't say anything else.
I am stroking the cock of Doom.
I can't talk about the content of what I played.
You know why when you're
Stroking the cock of
under
doom.
like NDA, you know why you're not supposed to say that something is good? That you think it's good? It's because then people can make the assumptions that everyone who doesn't say anything thinks it's bad. You that's why you can't say good or bad. You just can't say anything.
Well, I just did.
Also, we still think it's bad.
You think it's bad?
I'm stroking the cock.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Stroking
It's
the
all
cock
fine.
of Doom, goddammit.
They made Rage when John Carmack was still there. So now that John Carmack is gone, Doom can only be excellent. Dragon Quest 11.
You are such an asshole, Brad.
He really can be.
Actually, I never played Rage. Is Rage worth playing? I remember when I was
I didn't really like it.
It's the first half of it's pretty good. The second half of it is weak.
I've
Honestly.
heard. I played about half of it. And
I
that's,
would argue that the first half is weak.
okay.
Also,
Dragon
it had DLC that came out like a year and a half later, and nobody cared. They didn't promote it.
You know, it looks pretty solid.
Doom.
Dragon Quest 11.
Oh,
It's coming out for both PS4 and 3DS. Remember,
I
it's got
forgot about that. And this
that
is
double version.
this is a straight up like sequel. Like
Big ass open world Dragon Quest.
That's
game.
exciting.
It looks good.
That is exciting.
Crazy.
And that 3DS version looks pretty cool too, with the top screen and the bottom screen being
Yeah.
like one retro, one not retro. Cool. Dragon's Dogma Online. This one is not confirmed for the West, but since we're getting Dragon's Dogma on PC in the West this month, I have a feeling that game's going to do fairly well. Maybe not Dark Souls numbers, but
If it sells
Dark
well-
Souls really did well on the PC,
If Dark Arisen sells well on the PC, I'm pretty certain we'll get it.
especially because Dragon's Dogma Online does have a PC version. So I think at the very least we could get that.
But it is an MMO.
And
I mean, not an MMO in the traditional sense.
oh,
Is it
deep
not?
down, poor deep down.
It's more like a Diablo style MMO.
So, okay.
Moving
Just
on.
adventuring with your buddies. Dying Light: The Following. That's DLC. That's coming soon.
It's DLC, but it's a pretty expansive expansion
There's cars,
pack. It's,
right?
There's cars, and it's actually an entirely new map that is bigger than the full map of the first game.
Good lord.
I,
Are they selling it standalone or?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think you can either buy a standalone or you can buy I think it's either a download or you can buy the Game of the Year edition, which has both.
We must
I
keep
could be
moving. It is 10:30. This next game, I highly recommend y'all look up footage of. It's called EITR, E-I-T-R. It looks like fucking Diablo 1. It's sort of this isometric indie game, but they're sort of channeling like a Dark Souls philosophy, so you can't just run in and hack and slash. It seems really cool.
Nice.
Enter the Gungeon. Y'all
Dude,
played
that
that at
game
PAX?
Looks really good.
That game is fun. I really like Enter the Gungeon.
Fallout 4 DLC. The reason we put that on here is because
It's happening.
It'll happen.
Bethesda usually does a pretty good job with DLC. So
They turned out the first 3 pieces of expansion content for Fallout 3 in 5 months. So
Yeah.
you never know.
And if I recall, they were pretty good.
Far
They
Cry
were-
Broken Steel was very good.
Broken still was very good.
Yeah.
And
The
so-
Pit was
so was
okay.
Point
Operation
Lookout.
Anchorage was okay.
Point Lookout.
Point Lookout and
Yeah.
Mothership Zeta.
But I thought Point Out, Lookout, and Mothership Zeta were outsourced to another development team.
Well, I don't know, but Point Lookout was awesome. Far Cry Primal.
I am excited for this.
Yep.
That looks really
I
weird.
love Far Cry. I always love Far Cry, but it's really cool to see Far Cry experimenting with
I'm gonna
other.
miss not having like fucking helicopters and wingsuits and stuff.
What if you're riding on a fucking pterodactyl? Well, not.
There you go.
Well,
But-
Saber-Tooth Tiger.
Dude,
you can.
Far Cry always is like over the top, which is I think this will be cool.
You think there'll be boobs in this one?
I know that we at least know
I
there's
fucking
dicks.
hope so.
We can confirm dicks. I cannot say anything about boobs.
Well, if there's dicks,
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, I love boobs.
What about dick boobs?
No.
What? No!
No, what I was gonna say is the last time Far Cry went out and did something crazy like this, which was Blood Dragon, it was fucking awesome.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Well, here, do we think that Final Fantasy 15 is coming out this year?
Yes,
Yes.
Do we
Do
think
we?
it's Final Fantasy 15 is going to be good?
that is still up in the
Dude,
air.
I'm not sure about
If
either
you liked
of those
Final
points.
Fantasy 13, I would think so.
What, that's not. Well,
Hey,
what does
that's
that
not-
have to do with
that's
anything?
not
That's
fair.
completely different.
Because Final Fantasy 15, even based on the demo we've played, Final Fantasy 15 is
I
dramatically
would
different than 13.
predict that Final Fantasy 15 is going to come with a demo for 7. For that first batch of content, like a demo.
For
And that's how it's going to help sell.
Honor.
For Honor?
For Honor, I'm actually kind of excited about that. Looks pretty cool.
Multiplayer sword fighting game
Yeah,
by
it's like
Ubisoft.
it's
I'd
like
probably
a
a lot more
AAA studio doing chivalry.
I'd probably be a lot more excited if I actually got to play it. I waited in line for 2.5 hours to play that.
Swinging swords in dudes' faces.
I think it looked pretty cool. Chivalry in third person, kind of.
Yeah.
Is anybody interested in Friday the 13th, the game?
No, not
I'm
really.
kind of interested in it.
Maybe if I see it and it doesn't look like, but
Asymmetric multiplayer
Yeah.
where you're trying to survive against.
Yeah.
at the very least, it'll be fun for us to broadcast. I think Manty's licking my pants.
Crispy, I have a question for you. Are you going to play Game of Thrones Season 2?
I'm gonna play it, but I'm kind of mad at that game.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's a telltale thing.
I was not impressed with the first season by the time they finally. First of all, I think doing 6 episodes instead of 5 maybe wasn't a great thing, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play it because I love Game of Thrones and because I want to see what's happening with it.
Well,
But
after this George R. R. Martin bullshit about him going,
And the book's not
It's gonna
coming
be
out
wild.
the
this
book's
year.
not going to be out ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch that new season because that's pretty much all made up
Fan
new
fiction?
stuff, right? Fan fiction at this point.
But isn't
I didn't even like it last season.
okay?
So.
I've never seen any of Game of Thrones.
God, we're
I've never read
digressing.
any Game of Thrones.
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I just had a question.
Okay.
Okay. Didn't they skip over a ton of stuff from the book?
Sure.
Well, have
Well, have you
That's a
seen the
conversation.
size
they
of
just
the
go back
books?
and fill it in from there?
Have you seen the size
They
of the
could,
books?
but they're not going to
They're
because
not
a lot
going
of
to.
the stuff they skipped over was not main
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
that's all I was asking. It was an innocent
Give
question.
me 10 seconds on Ghost Recon Wildlands, Chris Davis.
It is a open world MMO FPS in which you're in Colombia and you're
MMO?
shooting terrorists.
Moving on.
It's kind of MMO-ish. It's
Mama
it's like
movie.
it's the Division 2.0. Okay.
The Division. Did
the
we skip
Division
over that?
2.0, the Division 1.0 isn't even out yet.
Where is the division?
It's under the, I guess.
It's under the
Did he,
Oh, we gotta keep moving. We got so many more games. It's crazy. We'll skip over the God Eater game. Some people are excited. Hellblade
Is that
by
like-
Ninja Theory. I hope that's good.
I hope that's good, but I'm
That's
still not
no
sold
relation
on it.
to Hellblade London, is it?
No. Hellblade.
This
Hellblade is like the spiritual successor to Heavenly Sword,
Yeah.
Except not.
with some kind of emphasis on like.
Oh, that's right. I remember you guys.
But it
were
has it
freaking
has
out
like a
about
theme of mental
Illness. Yes.
Yeah.
Theoretically. They're changing some things. Hitman just called Hitman, the new
We'll
Hitman game. I can't wait.
We'll see.
Isn't that supposed to come out this month? Like the first
March.
episode?
No.
Boy, wouldn't it be great?
March,
if
but there's an alpha or there's a beta in February.
wouldn't it be great if another good Hitman game came out?
That would be fucking nice.
This might be
We're skipping over Homefront.
I'm probably
No one
waiting
really
until
cares
that
about
until that
Hyper Light
game is all the
Drifter?
way out. before I
Hyper
play
Light
it.
Drifter is a game some people are jazzed about.
It looks really cool.
It looks great, but
looks nice.
the demo was so fucking hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough.
Oh my god.
Crispy, you were somewhat soured on the second episode
No,
of King's Quest.
I wasn't soured on the second episode. I was really frustrated beginning it, but by the time I ended it, I actually really liked it. The King's Quest, the 2 episodes that are out, are both really great. I'm really excited to see more of the series.
Cool.
Kingdom Come Deliverance is a relatively high-profile Kickstarter game. It's like a big open-world RPG, Western RPG. Anybody?
Going once.
I know of it.
Going twice.
Kingdom Hearts 3!
I'm very excited.
Is that coming out?
Go fuck yourself.
There's no way Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out this year.
If it does, 2016 is going to be just absolutely.
Just move on. Next one.
Kingdom Under Fire 2.
This is so weird. How is this still
How
happening?
is this still a thing? How is it still happening? How is it not out?
Dude, Kingdom Under Fire was cool, but it was an original Xbox game.
How did Kingdom Under Fire 2 not come out 5 years ago? Layers of Fear, I'm glad that's going to get finished because that was cool. Mafia 3, anybody here interested?
I'm kind of
I've
interested.
read about it. It sounds
New
cool.
Orleans in the 70s. Like,
I
it
think
seems
that's
kinda
the
cool.
reason I'm sold on it so
yeah.
far is because the setting and the time period sound really cool.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm into it.
Hopefully. Maybe we'll talk more about
Yeah,
that later.
maybe.
Mighty Number 9.
I'm going to play it. Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to play it. Fuck
I
you.
backed it, so
I'm sorry.
I didn't back it, but I'm going to play it.
Mega Man's cool. Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
I'm definitely very, very excited
sure.
for that.
Why not?
I can't believe that game's coming. We played that at E3.
I am really hoping that there is a interesting creative vision behind that game because what we played at E3 seemed kind of cool, but it also just seemed like kind of more Mirror's Edge.
well,
I
it
really
felt
hope
like
there is
Mirror's
a-
Edge,
What do you-
but much better.
I mean,
I hope there's like a point to this sequel. Does that make sense?
it's going to be more Mirror's Edge, dude. It's
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge. What I'm excited about is it's taking what was good about Mirror's Edge and dropping it into a more open space.
I hope that.
I'm just-
And I'm
stand out.
hoping they're getting rid of the insurance commercial cutscenes as well. Like if they do those two things, I will be happy with this game.
I'm happy that the control scheme for this game
Insurance cuts.
is so much more intuitive. You pull one trigger to go down for movements, and you pull
That's
one
how it
trigger to go
was in
up for
the
movements.
last game.
No, it wasn't like that. It was not like that. It was intricate combinations of buttons to do certain things.
It was an up and a down button.
It wasn't that simple.
It was.
It was not that
Are
simple.
you sure? 'Cause that's how
I am
Assassin's Creed
sure.
works. That's how
Go back
Assassin's
and play
Creed
that
works now.
game.
You're crazy.
You guys don't even know what you like the game.
Hey,
you
Crispy,
like.
the reason I skipped No Man's Sky the first time is because
Okay,
I
I
was knew
didn't-
it was here on the PC list, you jerk.
But you can understand why I assumed you were doing it despite me.
Sure, I'm just making
By the
it
way,
up.
Mirror's Edge is Catalyst is not a sequel. It is a reboot.
It's a prequel, right?
It's a reboot.
Oh, it's a reboot.
How does that make sense? You don't
I
reboot
think
one
they're
game?
completely ignoring the
I thought
events
it
of
was
Mirror's
like-
Edge 1.
Oh,
Like
I
the
thought it was
reason-
like how she started as a
Yeah,
I know
it
it
is, but I think
runner or whatever.
I think so, but I'm pretty sure they're also just kind of
Ignoring all of
ignoring
Mirror's Edge
everything
1.
that happened in Mirror's Edge 1.
Did
Well, you
anything
have
happen
to
in
if you make a
Mirror's Edge?
prequel.
I mean, is there really a story to those games, or do people just like it because of gameplay?
There was
It's
a
like
little
any-
bit of a story.
Yeah, it's like a tiny story told through an insurance commercial.
Outlast 2.
That is absolutely one of my most anticipated games of 2016.
Not bad.
Overkill's The Walking Dead.
I'm hopeful.
Oh, what
I
do we
mean-
know about it?
We don't know all that much. All they were doing was when they were demoing the Star VR.
Yeah.
It was a Rails demo for Walking Dead.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
I mean, you were being pulled around in a wheelchair and you were shooting zombies with a shotgun. Either way,
No one cares
It's-
about
it's
Overwatch
over-
here, I don't think, right? I can see Crispy
you know what?
playing it.
I'm getting a little interested in Overwatch. Okay.
You're a multiplayer shooter guy besides Chris
We'll see,
Davis.
we'll see, we'll
but
see.
Chris Davis likes the realistic AKs and stuff.
We cover it equally.
Okay,
team.
y'all are multiplayer
team,
shooter guys. Y'all play some Overwatch.
Oh, God.
Well, y'all can't high five
They
my
don't
dogs.
like
Y'all know
high
that.
fives. What's that?
I don't know what Paladins is. Paragons is.
Wait, there's a game called Paladins. Can we talk about what the hell that is for a second?
But no one here knows what it is.
no one knows what that is. Somebody tweet me some deets on Paladins. Anyway, what's Paragon?
Paragon is the MOBA from Epic.
Ugh.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Since we all have X-Bones now, is anybody going to play Garden Warfare 2?
Oh, I've never really been a Plants vs. Zombies guy.
People liked that first one. People liked it.
It had a good sense of humor.
I don't know what Rain World is. Do you really think we're going to get the Resident Evil 2 remake this year?
God, I hope so, but probably not.
No, it's not going to happen this year.
Although we might see, like, I'm sure we'll see it by the end of the year.
Resident Evil 0 Remaster comes out this year. I mean, this month, I mean.
And I'll be playing that because I love Resident Evil 0 and it's been
Are you really going to play that? Yeah. I've never played the Resident Evil 0. I was planning on broadcasting.
Dude, Resident Evil... I was planning on broadcasting.
But I've never played it.
Okay,
you also
fine.
skipped over Republic, by the way.
That is a game that has been coming out for the past 2 years.
Over the past year and a half, 2 years. Yeah, I agree. But it's really good. And it's worth mentioning that they just came out with episode 4. They're about to come out with episode 5 and it'll be done.
Okay.
Isn't that a weird, like, used to be a mobile game, and now it's a...
It did start as a mobile game.
It was a Kickstarter project, very early Kickstarter, and a lot of people wanted a PC version. They made a PC version.
Okay.
Next?
Republic. Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. I know we all tried to forget, but that's right.
Wait,
the multiplayer shooter.
Umbrella Core.
Umbrella Core. What did I say?
Chronicles.
You said
Umbrella Core. It is the new multiplayer Resident Evil shooter that when they debuted it, they had all the cheesy like esports commentary. Oh, God, it's so terrible.
That's
That
terrible.
game wouldn't be bad if it wasn't Resident Evil in the name.
Is this a spiritual successor to Raccoon City?
I mean, that was also a multiplayer game made by Western.
Those are the comparisons it's going to draw.
That was Slant 6.
Oh, this next game's already out.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. At least they announced that the PC version is coming out this month.
That is crazy.
And apparently we'll probably see a PS4 version by the end of the year.
It's not that crazy considering that the only reason that version wasn't coming out day and date with the others was because of a Microsoft agreement. So it makes sense.
If it is coming out on PC, should I just play it on PC? Or should I get it from my Xbone because I actually have an Xbone?
Oh, no, just get it for your Xbox, I guess.
Yeah.
It runs great on the Xbox.
I bet that thing will drop in price real quick.
Yeah. Salt and Sanctuary. This game we played at PAX. It's pretty cool.
That
Dark
looks
Souls,
cool.
man.
From
Dark
Scott
Souls.
Studios, the guys who did tons of
Dishwasher.
indie games. Yeah.
Shadow Complex Remastered. That's technically already out. Shadow Warrior 2. This is actually... I'm surprised that that game actually got a sequel. But I know Jager really likes Shadow Warrior. South Park.
The Fractured Butthole.
The Fractured Butthole. This is one that until we were making the list yesterday, I forgot existed.
I know.
And when I remember, I was super excited. Is that really coming out this year?
I've still never played. I have
That's a
not
good
played
game.
Stick of
Yeah,
Truth.
you should play Stick of Truth.
Who is making it?
Not Obsidian.
I know, but that's my question. Who is making it?
I don't know. I think it's just internal Ubisoft people. Street Fighter V comes out pretty soon, February. Some people are excited about Street Fighter.
Pretty sure. Isn't Shy pretty excited for Street Fighter?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Super Hot we mentioned. We don't care about that. Deadly Tower of Monsters comes out in a week, I think. It has a cool art style.
Yeah, it does.
The Walking Dead Michonne.
Which is another Telltale game. God
It's a-
damn, there's so many Telltale
weird.
games.
That's weird. I
it's a
want
Telltale
Clementine.
miniseries.
Who the fuck is Michonne? Boo.
What?
I know. People know like her. She has a sword. Yay. I want Clementine, damn it.
Dude, I still never finished Walking Dead Season 2.
Season 2 was good. I'm more people should.
I only played the first episode.
It's good. It's certainly better than the one about the frog dude and
The Wolf
Game of
Among Us.
Thrones. So I recommend it. The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine, it's on here because it's a pretty substantial expansion with a new area, and I'm kind of excited. I finished Hearts of Stone yesterday, and it was really good.
Yeah.
The Witness comes out this month.
Witness.
Jonathan Blow's
That's cool.
magnum opus.
After like 4 years. Or
4
something.
years,
5
jeez.
years,
When
6
was
years.
Braid?
Well, no.
2000
How long has he been showing it off at
Oh,
shows?
well, at shows not long, but it's been in development for a
We've
very
seen
long
like
time.
the oldest screenshot of that game is
Because
probably
Braid
like
came
4 or
out
5
like
years.
what?
2008, I think, or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, jeez. But I do love Braid.
Pretty
Here's the
hyped.
thing about The Witness. I think this game needs to be the most amazing game in the world, or it needs to be fucking awful. Because if this thing is just all right, I feel really bad for Jonathan Blow.
Oh.
At least if it's like absolutely terrible.
It'll be good.
He could just middle finger the world.
It'll be good.
Drop the mic and leave.
Titanfall 2,
That's not confirmed,
That's
but
not officially
not
that
confirmed.
would fall under the category
Right.
of a sequel that I'm pretty
Likely.
sure we'll all see.
Yeah.
But we know that one is multi-platform. around.
Yeah, and it's being made on Frostbite as well. So
It'll look good.
yeah.
Tom Clancy's The Division under T.
What's
Give us 10 seconds
dude.
on your Tom Clancy game.
it looks really good. I look forward to playing.
You know,
it.
Dude, the
I'm gonna-
Division
I'm
actually
gonna-
played pretty.
Yeah.
Like that. We played that at PAX.
We
and
played the multiplayer.
I've heard
demo.
good things out of PAX.
It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I'm kind of excited after actually having touched it for a little bit. Like I'm kind of excited to see what it'll be like when it launches.
I'm not entirely sold on like the structure of that game yet.
Are you saying this as a Destiny fan or just like...
I mean, probably somewhat. I mean, there's supposed to be more of like a single player content to this than Destiny ever had.
I mean, honestly, like I could feel like this could be super successful or could suffer from all the same problems that
That's
Destiny
true.
had.
It's true.
Titanfall 1 is a Source Engine game?
Yeah, it was modified
Say
source.
what?
Good
You didn't know
Lord.
that?
Good Lord.
It's one of the things I was.
No wonder
really
it ran on
made interesting.
Xbox 360 pretty well. Unravel?
Oh, that's that game with that
so
with that
fucking over this game.
with that really
Little red.
Yarny.
shaky dude. What's wrong with
man.
Yarny?
Chris is really bitter
That's
about
fucking
Unravel.
insulting. Well, Undertale hater over here.
I'm
Can't we just love?
I'm just my spite for this game comes from the freaking EA press conference
Wait, what was wrong? What?
Yarny.
because they spent fucking 15 minutes on
Dude.
goddamn Yarny.
Who
and
the
then
fuck
they
hates
had-
Yarny? You're evil. No
Dude,
one hates Yarny.
Dude, you know that guy
We
single
missed Ubisoft partially because of goddamn Yarny.
Dude, you know that guy won E3, right? Like everybody loved that guy because he was up there so nervous talking about his game. Everybody loved that guy. He won E3, and you're over here just shitting his stocking. Like, what is that all
I am
about?
so over it. No.
Chris Davis is a bad person.
Supports open carry, hates Yarny.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's a raw subject here in Texas.
More guns, less yarn.
Watch Dogs 2. We know it's coming.
Holy shit.
We. So, I apologize, Chris. Ukulele?
Ukulele.
I'm backing that game on Kickstarter.
I don't know if that game is coming out this year, but I look forward to it. It looks delightful.
It does look delightful. You know what also looks delightful? Yarny. What the fuck is wrong with you, Chris Davis? How can you go from hating Yarny
The
to
dude
loving
is going to
ukulele?
unravel himself at the end of the game. You're going to get to the end of the game. He's going to run out of yarn and die.
Oh my god.
That's going to be how this game ends. And we're all going to cry.
Literally, the harshest 180 I've ever seen is going from hating Yarny to loving ukulele.
Well, hey, you know what? Ukulele, it looks like Banjo-Kazooie, and Banjo-Kazooie is a delight.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Are we done?
That was it.
Well, yeah,
we're done.
you didn't really breathe much during that
Sorry.
during that last
Yeah,
list.
I was in a hurry. Well, we still have our top 5 to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
our
yeah,
top
okay.
5.
Yeah.
So there we have it, guys. That is our comprehensive 2016 list. Mostly. It's pretty comprehensive. We covered all of the bases, all of the big stuff, all of the little stuff that is going to be worth playing, all of that cool. And that's just the stuff we know about. Who the fuck knows what else is going to happen that we don't already know about? Because you know there will be stuff announced at E3 that will be out by November or December. It's going to be crazy. So we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up by each going around and saying our top 5 most anticipated games of 2016. Brad? Would you care?
Are we starting?
Would you care
Chris
to
Davis
start?
looked like he had something to say, so I didn't know.
I was just wondering if we were going to take one more Patreon question, but whatever.
Oh, let's take another Patreon
Okay,
question.
Patreon question. Let me pull it up or something.
Honorable mentions.
Kill-
We'll do some honorable mentions at the end.
Oh God.
Did they say Night in the Woods? We didn't say Night in the Woods. Blame Arcapants.
What
I
was
mean,
Night in the
we're
Woods?
bound to have forgot some games. There are 1,000 games coming out next year, probably.
Oh man. So this is kind of.
But Night in the Woods does look cool.
I'm trying to pick a good question here. Gonzo Lude asks,
Oh no.
do you guys prefer to have a difficulty choice in a game or not? Personally, I don't like it when I have to choose a difficulty because it makes me think I'm not playing the game right if I have to boost it up to the highest difficulty.
I don't like difficulty choices. I've realized this, especially as I've been playing Invisible Ink. I would like a more authored difficulty You know what I mean? Like, I want a game that is designed to be a certain way, that is supposed to be balanced a certain way, like Dark Souls. You know, if you had the option of turning it down to easy, I bet most people wouldn't even bother finishing that game.
Yeah,
It's part of the experience.
I think you're right. There is something to be said for like that kind of curated experience where the game exists in one form and you have to take it as it is. I do think some games do kind of benefit from having difficulty settings. Think about like a lot of Platinum games, like Wonderful 101. The fact that you can go through, learn how to play the game on easy, beat it, and then go back and be like, man, that game was great, but it's only like 10 hours long, and bump it up to an even harder difficulty. That's kind of adds a bit more reward.
Platinum games on harder difficulty actually usually throws different like enemy patterns and stuff at you. Like it's actually different.
But I think the fact that game has a variable difficulty kind of adds to the experience.
No, I was going to say that I like a little bit of both. I like a game that has the easy option and then the normal difficulty option, what they want you to experience to play. But then upon completion, I want there to be like additional modes, harder modes, so it extends the lifetime of that game.
I'm kind of in the middle there because I agree with Brad. I think there should be a way of playing a game that was as it's intended to be played, right? But at the same time, if there is going to be difficulty, I feel like I wish it was more of a standard that like additional difficulty levels were unlocked at the end of the game, because I hate starting it like popping in a disc before I know anything about the game or having played any significant amount of it and having to make a decision on difficulty. And not to mention, I feel like a lot of the times it just kind of like, you know, I wish every time I started a Halo game I didn't have to choose my difficulty level, because I immediately just think of like, well, you know, all these people out there say you're not playing the game right if you're playing it on normal. Like, so I feel like, oh, well, maybe I should play it on heroic because everybody out there
they'll make fun
will
of
give
you
a fucking hard time if you don't play it on heroic, and that shit is obnoxious.
I kind of wish that
I'm playing it on heroic.
I am too, because I felt I had that
because y'all don't
want to
get stuffed in a locker.
Yeah,
I don't want to get
we're
stuffed
not
in a fucking
dweebs.
locker.
Right.
I kind of wish that that developers would take a stab at like the director system from Left 4 Dead that would monitor your progress and adjust the difficulty of what's happening based on how you're doing.
In the background.
Yeah.
That right there is kind of what I think would be ideal. Without putting like, I don't want to make that decision. Just look at how I'm playing and tailor it to.
I mean, I feel like a lot of
playstyle.
times the option to have like easier settings is more of just like a function of wanting to cast a really wide net to get as many people to play as possible.
Yeah.
Like think about like when Dragon Age comes out and they're like, we want to get as many people playing Dragon Age, so we'll have options that basically just remove the challenge of combat completely.
I think Scrawny makes a good point too. I think at the very least, when there is multiple difficulty settings, they should tell you what exactly changes. A lot of time, it's so
Like
ambiguous,
opaque as far as
like there's no
it's like, oh, the
clarity
enemies hit
there.
harder, or there are fewer enemies, or like you take more damage.
Also, another thing that developers have kind of failed to utilize really is like a tutorial level that grades you based on your performance and then adjusts the difficulty.
And then makes a recommendation or something after that point.
Yeah, like Call of Duty games. They used to do that.
Yeah.
And then they forgot what they were.
That is true.
Hey,
All
guys,
right.
let's wrap things up with the top 5 minute.
Top 5 most anticipated
5
games of
minutes.
2016.
It is not going to be a minute.
Are we going 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
We're going to go around. We're going to do 5. We're going to do 4. We're going to do 3. We're going to do 2. We're going to do 1. And we're going to go home.
So you got that, guys? We're going to do 5, 4. We're going to just go around the room just like that.
I'll start with my number 5.
Okay.
Most anticipated game of 2016 is the new Zelda game. God damn it, guys. I mean, it's fucking Zelda. It's been a long time since Skyward Sword. That one was kind of gimmicky. I had some issues. But I feel like Nintendo has learned some things since then.
You know, there's something to be said about that, because I had some serious issues with that game too, but I still played that game for 50 hours. And that's like on the I would put that on the low end of Zelda games.
The fact that it was a 50-hour game... That's because there was so much filler in the main story.
That is
whatever.
true.
But since then, they released A Link Between Worlds, and they were experimenting with some interesting ideas, like, hey, you can get the items in any order you want. You could tackle these dungeons in the order you want. You know, rent an item. You know, like they were legitimately trying out some new ideas, and they were suggesting that they were going to apply some of this stuff to this full open world Zelda game. And I'm really really curious to see and excited to see what this is going to become. I'm going to be really bummed if it gets turned into some NX thing, like really, really bummed. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But, you know, I can't wait. I really can't.
I feel like that's kind of inevitable.
So that's my number 5. Crispy.
My number 5 is Firewatch. This actually,
Well, you know what? That's also my number 5.
That's your number 5 too? Yeah. I've been really getting into the trend of like these kind of off the beaten path like experience games, as it were. I mean, like I just finished Her Story last week, and that was like, you know, we can have a debate about whether or not it was a game all day, but it was still a really cool experience. I'm just really into these kind of games. They pushing the boundaries a little bit. The art style looks really fucking cool.
I just like,
and we don't know what the fuck it is really. Like we don't know what's going on.
For me, you're right. It looks gorgeous. 2, I think that element of mystery that they've kind of just teased in the trailers is really exciting. Not to mention the fact that it's just set in like a national park, and you're like a park. He's
a forest ranger.
Yeah, and like that sounds like a really cool idea. And the fact that it's telling a story by communicating over a radio with someone else sounds awesome. But like, just like you, like I've been really getting into a lot of these kind of standalone atmospheric story games, kind of like even this wasn't the best game, but like I played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter fairly recently, and just the atmosphere, the feel of that game was really cool, and I'm getting a lot of that vibe from.
It just feels like people are trying to do something new, and it's exciting to see where they succeed and where they fail.
Exactly.
Hey, Chris Davis, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is going to go to XCOM 2.
Ooh.
I am
Dismiss my list.
Fuck. Yeah, it's oh my goodness. I played through Enemy Within several months ago, just because I could. Yeah. Oh my goodness, just replaying that game, it felt so.
You had a severe lack of.
I just wish I was better at it.
See, I didn't want to augment my soldiers like that.
Oh,
I'm more for like the psychic and the bio augmentation.
That stuff was overpowered too. So.
Robots.
Robots are great. Don't get me wrong. I love a good mech.
You'd rather bastardize the human genome and make a bunch of fucking mutants
rather than cut off their arms.
Embrace the singularity. Embrace the singularity.
That's a great game.
Man and machine will become one.
I'm sorry, that's a fine game.
Fine game.
I am also excited for for your number 5, Chris. I'm excited for XCOM 2, but it just missed my list because my number 4 is actually Ni no Kuni 2, and let me explain why. I did not really like Ni no Kuni 1 that much, but you know it had a really cool visual style. That Studio Ghibli stuff was great. No, not even close. That Studio Ghibli stuff was really great.
I did,
but I hate. Congratulations.
No, that was a thing. That was a thing for me for a while. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was certainly a thing. But I really hated the combat in that game, and I hated the combat in that game. It had problems. I didn't want to finish it, but this is level 5, doing a second game. A long time ago, they did this game called Dark Cloud, and that game had problems. And then they did a sequel called Dark Cloud 2, and it was one of the best PS2 games. So I'm going to give level 5 the benefit of the doubt here, because they can still win me over with another Ni no Kuni game. The trailer looks incredible. It looks fucking incredible. I'm ready to play another big budget, beautiful JRPG, and I'm going to give level 5 another chance.
You know why I'm a little worried about that game, though? They're not directly working with Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, but, you know, even the first game, the Studio Ghibli stuff was mostly just the art style, I feel like. Yeah. You know, they kind of diverged in terms of...
It was very much a level 5 game.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited, and I will play it. That first game was such a thing for me.
A thing?
Such a... Never mind. Let's just move on. I finished it, though.
Crispy,
That's all that matters.
what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Ooh!
Interesting.
Is that confirmed for this year? I mean, just out of curiosity, like, what's the likelihood that's actually being
I think
it's got to be
this
this year.
I think
It's got to
there's a
be
good
this year.
Okay.
We'll see.
God help us.
I hope so.
I really, 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 really like the universe that Mass Effect cooked up. I read some of the books and everything too. Like I was just into it. It's a nice bit of sci-fi world building, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it in game form when we get away from like Shepard and like the main story that we went through in those 3 games. Yeah, 3 was disappointing. I know. I was disappointed as
We
well.
were all there.
Yeah, we were all there. We all saw what happened.
We saw it.
But now we can put that behind us and move forward in a more exciting direction. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens.
Mass Effect 3 had problems, but there's no denying that universe still has a lot of appeal.
It does. It's a really well actualized world.
Speaking of appeal, Nick, is your number 4
What
very
about
appealing?
Chris Davis?
Well, we sort of fucked up the order when you hopped in after Crispy last time.
Well, no, I did that because we
had the same one. He was
Okay.
just jumping on
I'm
the
gonna keep going.
All right, Chris Davis. What's
My
your
number 4 is Ace Combat 7.
Never heard of it.
Because I love Ace Combat. It's a terrific series of arcade flight sims.
Can I ask you a legitimate
If you just
question?
like fun, it's
Can I ask a
Arcade flight
legitimate
sim
question?
Sounds like an oxymoron.
Can I ask a legitimate question?
yes.
What is different from one Ace Combat game to the next? That
There's
makes
actually quite a bit.
Oh shit!
I'm
Beyond
sorry.
just-
Was that?
You shouldn't have asked him that.
It's a lot about different subsystems that they put in various games. Like in 5 had a very basic decision system.
The answer is mostly nothing.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay, 5 had a very basic decision system. Okay, that was a new
Up on the
thing.
D-pad.
And well, no, it had more to do with character and actual level selection things like that. But whatever. 6 introduced the leader system in which you can actually, the better you do in combat, the more a meter will fill up, and then you can call in reinforcements and really change the tide of battle by activating this leader mode.
Do we know much about 7?
Other than the fact that it seems to have a focus on drones, but it has that more fantastical element than Assault Horizon did, which I hated
So it's
that
got
game.
some science fiction elements to it.
Oh, all the games have had science
Yeah.
fiction elements.
Oh,
Wait.
okay.
So are we finally
these
getting
are
to
One of
Japanese
the
developed flight games.
traditions of the Ace Combat series is that they have the designer from Macross and Robotech make a plane for you to fight against eventually and earn.
Well, that's cool.
And it turns into
Do you
a
know
robot.
what the last?
No.
You know what the last flight combat game I played was? Aero Fighters Assault on the N64. I love that game.
No, I love that
Wait,
game
did
too.
you
It
not
was
play?
fun.
Did you not play Rogue Leader on GameCube?
It ran at 15
Oh, are we
frames a
talking about?
second.
Are we including Star Wars? in this?
Flight. Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
I automatically lump those in with Star Wars games. I'm sorry.
I was mostly just trolling Chris Davis. I was once a Ace Combat fan myself, and hopefully this
And-
one's good.
Ace
The only
Combat fan?
the only sad thing that upsets me about this project is that Keiji Kobayashi, who has done all the music since Ace Combat 4, is no longer at Project Aces. And
That's
Kobayashi's music is
sad.
fucking
Did
fantastic.
he do a Soul Horizon music too?
Yeah, he did.
I heard that
Assault.
had a good soundtrack.
It had a really good soundtrack. That was probably the best part of Assault Horizon.
I didn't play that one.
Maybe they'll find someone who will do an equally good soundtrack, but it will just be different.
I hope.
Hey,
One
Nick.
can hope.
Hey Nick.
Yes.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Quantum Break.
Never heard of it.
God damn you, Brad. It's. We all know that I love
Alan Wake.
Iceman.
Alan Wake
And Max Payne.
Remedy. I mean, I love Remedy.
And
Remedy.
X-Men movies.
Have you
And
played through
X-Men.
Max Payne in 1 and
yes,
2?
1, not 2.
You should play 2 in the lead up to.
Maybe I will,
Time
but I
Cop.
actually would rather play more Alan Wake. Anyway, the point is, I'm really like I said earlier, I'm actually really intrigued by this whole idea of melding like a episodic television show with a game. Before I was a little uncertain about it because they were going to be 2 separate things, they have since the whole Xbox TV or thing kind of went south. They've shifted it back and folded it back into the game itself. So you now play the game, watch an episode of the show, play the game, watch an episode of the show. And I love episodic television. So if it's good, episodic television in between bouts of playing a really great action game, especially when decisions that I'm making in the game are affecting things that are happening in the show, that sounds like a really cool idea.
that-
I'm a little nervous that it may not pan out as good as I hope because it is kind of different.
They, they film scenes differently depending on player choice.
But then when you make a choice, like they
switch it
upload a new episode that's catered
No.
to the
This
choice.
is not.
Everything's together.
This is all on the disc.
and it
Yeah.
but the show is going to play differently depending on what you did in the game.
I mean,
We don't know.
They're going to be minor deviations of key events that'll be different depending on choices you make in
I'm
the
gonna
game.
call it right now and say that that show is going to be exactly the same for everyone, and it'll be as good or as bad as it.
We don't.
Maybe it
is.
is. Maybe it is, but it doesn't mean I'm excited to find out. I mean, the thing is, Remedy is a talented studio. They do cool shit. Like some of the cool shit in Alan Wake was some of that stuff they did with like the television show that you would stumble across and you would watch episodes of and things happening in the game. Like that stuff was really cool, and now they're taking that to the next logical level for them. I'm excited. It could, like I said, it has a lot of potential to also be not very good, but
It's ambitious.
It's ambitious.
It's ambitious.
And I love Remedy. And I
it's
like
time travel.
I like
travel's
time
cool.
travel shit, and I like time manipulation in terms of gameplay. That could be really fucking cool.
Oh, have you ever tried Singularity?
Oh, it's a
Have you
fine
ever
game.
tried Time Shift?
It's a fine game.
Time-
That is not a fine game.
Some people like it.
Some people.
My
do.
number 3.
It's an interesting game anyway.
Some of y'all might find surprising. It was already mentioned here. It is Mass Effect Andromeda.
I don't find that surprising at all because,
Well-
as we established, Mass Effect is a fine series.
Yeah, but I feel like it's been a long time since I really sucked the Mass Effect penis. I mean,
It
just
certainly has.
just
You know,
because-
in fact, I don't think I've ever
Exactly.
ever really heard you say anything positive. In fact, I think the very
Well.
first episode of the podcast I was on was when Mass Effect 3 came out.
we'll see. That was a bad
So-
time.
Yeah.
You
So-
caught me on
So
a bad
I've
day.
never heard you really be positive about Mass Effect. Except for the
I
first one.
love the original Mass Effect, and I love Mass Effect as well. I've notoriously been more of a Mass Effect 1 fan,
For sure.
but
These Reapers ain't gonna kill me.
Mass Effect 3 I was really down on. I was down on not just because of the crappy ending, but I actually felt that that series had become streamlined in a way that really bummed me out. I feel like there was no good sense of place because you were dropped into these areas. They started with a cutscene. You were following corridors until you got to the end. You watched some cutscenes. You made some decisions. Boom, you were gone. It just didn't feel like Mass Effect 1, where you really felt like you were in these really large places with these hub areas with lots of people to talk to, side quests to take. It felt like a fucking RPG. And I, even though I had some misgivings about Dragon Age Inquisition, it did make my top 10 last year. To hear that they're maybe using that as a formula and you are going to be able to explore these large, open, alien environments reminds me or makes me think that we're going to kind of get back to the vibe that the original Mass Effect had, which I loved. You know, a lot of people bitched about, empty alien worlds, but you know what? It added to the atmosphere. It added to just the sense of space exploration that I loved, and I hated how they took all that stuff out. So if we're going to get back to maybe that kind of Mass Effect, I will be pleased as punch.
I can agree with that.
That's why I'm super excited.
As
about
long as when it comes to exploring those large alien environments, that there's stuff to find and there's stuff to do.
Hopefully.
That was one of the biggest problems with Mass Effect 1. Sure, you had a ton of area to explore, but there wasn't shit to find.
But sometimes
There was an alien base, usually by Cerberus, and there was like one of the giant worms.
But
And that was it.
sometimes, sometimes having an impressive sense of scale is still important, regardless.
Absolutely, I agree.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, I feel like, has kind of proved that. It adds a lot.
Yeah, that feeling I got from the first time I played Mass Effect when I realized like, I'm gonna pick a landing site on a planet and go down there and explore it. I still never got anything like that from either of the other Mass Effect games.
But did you really pick a landing spot?
Well, you know what I mean though. Like it's like I agree with
gonna look
Brad.
the same.
I agree with Brad. It was a little bare bones, and they could have like done a bit more to color it up. But that was a really cool, ambitious idea that they never even like tried to go back to.
No, anything that kind of didn't work, they ripped the fuck out, just like the Mako, and that was a bummer because that Mako, had some problems.
Yeah.
But it added a lot to the vibe of that game. And if you didn't have the Mako, you wouldn't have had that cool final sequence. Well, whatever. Hey, let's move on.
I was just going to say the tank sequences for the DLC for, I think it was
Yeah, the fire, whatever it's called. I played all that
Firewalker.
stuff.
That would have been a good foundation for
All
me.
right, we need to pick it up.
Press play, number 3.
Number 3 for me is The Witness.
Can I get a witness?
Well, you won't have to wait long to
Jonathan
find out if
Blows.
that's good.
I know. I
very
can't
long.
wait.
I'm very
so
excited.
weird. It's been in development
Maybe
for so
I just
long.
like games that have pretty colors.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
They've said it's January, but they haven't said a specific
Yeah,
date.
they have.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
January
They have?
26th, I think.
26th?
January
Okay.
26th?
Make
Has an
certain.
official date.
Happy birthday to me.
So
Really? Is
weird.
that on your birthday?
No, it's like
The week of
later,
PAX
but-
South. Oh boy.
So weird. Jonathan Blow. Huh. Who would have thunk it? We're finally going to be able to find out if that dude's a sham or not.
That is true.
This guy's a
He's
phony.
a one-hit wonder.
What is this shit? Okay. Chris Davis, number 3.
Number 3 ought to be pretty obvious. Tom Clancy's The Division.
Dead Division.
That's obvious. That was your number
This
one
is
choice.
this is the first game.
Well, you
with,
don't know me, Mr. Henderson.
I know,
Then
clearly
this
I
is
don't.
the first game with Tom Clancy in the title that I won't roll my eyes when you say you're excited about.
oh,
I'm on your side.
I'm really
That sounded like an insult, but I'm on your side.
honestly, it's a combination of two good things. It's just this formula that I don't think has really been explored that often. This open world online shooter that's done well, and it's from Massive Entertainment. I mean, they made my favorite RTS of all time, probably in my top 10 games of all time, World in Conflict, and they've made this beautiful looking game on this beautiful looking engine, and I can't help but just.
It
put
does
in my
look
top
good.
five.
It does seem to play pretty good. I am cautiously optimistic about it.
That's fair. That is more than fair.
All right. My number 3. Outlast 2. I loved Outlast 1. Scared the shit out of me.
Ready to be chased all over again.
I hate
By
being
the clan.
chased in that game. Being chased by something, especially when you're being chased with something and you don't know where to go, is a very frightening feeling to me. It scares the shit out of me, especially in games. And that game really,
Wait, especially in games?
or in real life.
Yeah, I think
know.
it's especially in real life.
Yeah, good point. I had that backwards. Anyways, I really love what they did with Outlast 1, and it's cool to see that Outlast 2 is kind of establishing Outlast as this like anthology horror series where like the first one and the second one may not necessarily be connected in any real significant way because they're totally different locations, totally different themes. Like the first one took place in like an abandoned mental hospital. This one's taking place, it looks like, we don't know much yet, but it seems to be taking place like in like the woods, and it's going to be built around the idea of like cult worshipping.
That's
Almost looks like
cool.
the Clan. Honestly.
It could be. We have no idea. It could be.
Dude, that's fucked
It
up.
could be. Dude, the first game was fucked up, so it could go in any direction. All we know,
Not like the clan. fucked
like
up.
the trailer itself, like it was a teaser trailer, but like all they showed was like woods, like ritualistic chanting, and an upside down burning cross. So like they're moving away from abandoned mental hospital and going into entirely new territory.
Potentially less linear. Which
Being
could be very
chased
interesting.
by cult worshippers through the woods sounds terrifying to me.
Yeah.
You should play the Forest then.
My number 2 most anticipated game of 2016
Okay, you're gonna have to speed it up, Brad.
is a game that I poked around. I read some articles. I hear as recently as December that there is a chance that this game actually will come out in 2016, and that is Cyberpunk 2077,
That is
which
not,
we did not mention
There
at
is no-
all
I don't think we
on
can.
our list. We
Dude.
can because they said
If we can mention that, we can mention Amy Hennig's Star Wars project. We can mention so many other things.
we could have mentioned that.
I kind of wanted to mention that.
We
but I
could have
didn't.
mentioned that. In
Yeah, but
fact,
that's not
when we
even
were
like
doing
a
the list, we had written that
game,
down.
yeah.
But like Brad, how can you realistically
Bullshit.
say that when just months prior to this, they also said the earliest you're even going to be hearing about 2077 is 2017.
That's not what they said.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Before they
2077.
said, before there was ever any talk of it maybe coming out next year or this year, they were saying we're focusing on Witcher DLC, and the earliest you'll even hear us talk about it is 2017.
I can prove it to you. Well, I can swap it out if y'all really don't think it's cool.
I'm just as excited. So by all means, it's
I heard
I
possibly
hope
December.
you're right. I hope you're right. This summer?
December.
Oh God.
Possibly.
Whew. Okay.
If not, Mountain Blade Bannerlord. All hell. The Bannerlord.
Did he just?
Yeah.
No, I stuck my hand straight up.
Okay.
All hell the Bannerlord.
You weren't looking for Kyle?
be-
He's about that tall?
Don't be lazy.
This is
with
my
your-
banner
with
up
your
here.
hailing.
My banner.
Oh my
Banner
God.
Lord.
All right. Crispy?
Bacon is lit. My number 2 most anticipated game for this year is Star Citizen.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Look at that.
Star Citizen.
Star
Why
Citizen.
doesn't Crispy ever talk about Star
Why is it
Citizen?
not his number 1?
You just can't make this man
We
happy.
already,
You just can't make this man happy. All right.
already
Would you like to hit him with this? You can hit him with this if you want.
Yeah, no, so I mean, like Chris Davis said earlier, Squadron 42 should be coming up later this year. Looks great. Really cool cast. Looks like they're doing a lot of good work with it. I am pretty excited about the single player component. I'm more excited about the online component, but, you know, that's still a ways
off.
away.
Yeah.
So, not going to get too excited yet on that.
All right. Chris Davis. All right, we need to speed this up a little bit.
I'm going to fuck with y'all. I choose for my number 2, Mass Effect Andromeda.
That's fucking with us? I think we've all established that we're very excited for Mass Effect Andromeda.
I am very excited, but for me, the most exciting aspect is the potential for the multiplayer for this game. Because
Alright,
Mass
that's
Effect
weird.
3's multiplayer, I put
okay.
over 100 hours into. It was engrossing, it was fun, and they focus on that as a free product. All the DLC for it was free. Okay?
Do we think
they
they're gonna
released a ton of characters you could play as? You could play as the fucking biotic god Volus in that freaking multiplayer mode.
Do we think they're going to return to multiplayer, though, at all?
I really hope they do.
I mean, I know it's clear we hope you
And they
they
said
do,
that
but
they
the
said
last
that the
time-
foundation for the Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer was Mass Effect 3's multiplayer.
The thing is, the last time
So,
I remember
okay.
a series that had multiplayer that suddenly started having a serious dip in like the reception to the single player campaign was Assassin's Creed, and they shelved that multiplayer in the favor of
That's a
making,
whole other publisher, whole other developer, whole other hullabaloo.
Just saying.
I mean, nobody had hopes for Mass Effect multiplayer
Just saying.
when Mass Effect 3 came out. And look what it became. It became probably the most fun multiplayer you could have on the 360, honestly.
Holy shit!
It's really fucking good.
I've heard it's good. And I'm just being a devil's advocate. Who knows if it's going to have multiplayer or not? It probably will.
Destructoid and PC Gamer reported on this rumor that Cyberpunk might be hitting in 2016.
I saw the same rumor.
Okay,
I'm not saying that rumor. I'm just saying I don't quite buy it.
A source, an inside source.
All right. Well, my number 2 is going to be Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ooh, that's a surprise. I wasn't expecting that.
Big KH guy?
I'm a big Disney guy.
Are you going to pick
I
up
love
Kingdom
Disney.
Hearts?
I'm still riding I'm going back to Disney before the end of the year. I'm still riding
Well,
that
the
high.
year's only been here for about 5 days.
Let me ask you this.
Are you going to be picking up Kingdom Hearts 2.8, whatever?
Oh, God, I've been intentionally skipped over that.
I'm playing the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 or whatever I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 HD right now, and I'll be playing Kingdom Hearts 2. I'll be
0.8.
buying the whatever the HD version of that was. I won't be playing any of the.
Have you-
I'm literally just gonna play 1, 2, and 3. That's all I need. That's all I want.
Okay, so here's my question. The Kingdom Hearts name was once considered, like when Kingdom Hearts came out and Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, they were like, man, like this thing is selling as much as like Final Fantasy. This is Square Enix new like moneymaker. And they released so many weird little spin-offs and it changed.
know.
It was all about Organization 13 and all the weird kids started liking Kingdom Hearts only.
They really drove it into the ground, in my opinion.
All the weird.
So here's my question. Here's my question. Do you think now
Those kids
like
is-
where the franchise is now that name doesn't hold enough like respect to where we're not going to get any good Disney franchises tied to it, because all we know so far is Tangled and Big Hero 6.
Okay, first of all,
like that seems like some B tier
both,
shit.
Both of those movies are really good movies.
Sure, but it's not like classic Disney.
I thought we were also getting Toy Story as well.
No, that is no.
we're not?
No. That they've said nothing about Toy Story.
I thought we were.
Well, okay.
I mean, we've seen like some summons and shit, but even
There
that
will always
nothing
be
Toy Story.
references to
Where's
classic
that-
Disney.
Where's that Frozen money?
Sure, I mean it's gonna have
Dude,
Mickey
you know
Mouse.
that's inevitable. There will be a Frozen world in Kingdom Hearts 3. Guaranteed. Dude,
Listen,
all I'm
I like
saying is-
Tangled, I like Big Hero 6, but
There will
like that
always
is
be-
not Star Wars.
Dude, there will always be references to classic Disney, even if it's not like entire worlds built off of classic Disney. Like the thing is, we've already had those references. They are simply just pulling from more recent Disney material now as the series has gotten older. So yes, Tangled and Big Hero 6, which are both great fucking movies.
In 2001 or 2, when Kingdom Hearts came out, 2002 I think, fucking those classic Disney, the shit they used, that wasn't recent stuff, you know? Like.
Okay, we've already spent too much time talking about it because, like people are pointing out in chat, there's also a really good chance it's not even coming out this year.
That is my question. What is more a realistic scenario for you? Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out this year?
No, I think it'll probably.
Did you see the recent Kingdom Hearts 3 footage?
Yeah, I think every time I see that game in motion, I'm like, holy shit, it's breathtaking. It looks so good.
Organization 13. Sorry.
Suck it, Brad.
Roxas.
Just what's your fucking number one?
Can a monster dream?
Brad, what is your number one
My number
most
one
anticipated game
most anticipated game of
2016?
2016 shouldn't be too much of a surprise because it is a sequel to a game I surprisingly fell in love with from a developer that I absolutely adore, and that is Nier Automata from Platinum Games.
If I had to replace Kingdom Hearts on my list with something that's more likely to come out this year, I'd probably put that in its place.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this weird game that no one seemed to love except me and a few other people I convinced to play it, was actually going to get a sequel, and it did. It has the same director and has the same composer, and it's made by Platinum Games, and it looks like a competent Platinum Games game, and it has the character artist from Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, you know, one of the things that was really bad in the first Nier, the character design.
I'm almost nervous because the last game that had this much creative talent that was just like perfect, that came together magically for like a dream project, was tragically canceled. So I'm just
sorry, buddy.
What game was that?
Shut the fuck up, Chris Davis. I'll kill you.
I'm genuinely curious.
What do you think it is, Chris Davis?
Was it a sequel?
It's Silent Hills.
Oh.
Moving on. Nier looks great.
Chris Davis, what is your number one game?
What about this gentleman?
I thought we did his.
No,
Brad, you.
But you guys know what it is. Just move on.
No Man's Sky.
I want to hear. This is your fun. This is the last time you're allowed to talk about it till it comes out.
What?
No, I want to hear your impassioned speech as to why this really is. I feel like
I don't know you
I
that.
feel like no.
I don't know you
No.
But really, we don't have time for an impassioned
Wait,
speech.
hold on.
Speech
Hold
right
on.
now.
Hear me out. I feel like with the 4-player minute, it's kind of become like a running joke. Him throwing it on there at the end.
You guys don't
I feel
think
like
I'm
we
actually
haven't-
excited about it?
Well, no, I believe you, but we haven't heard. I feel like your genuine excitement in a while about this game.
It's an
serious.
exploration game set in space. You can fly around, you can land on planets seamlessly. Like, that alone right there is enough to blow my skirt up. And it looks cool. It looks really neat.
Has a cool art style.
It looks cool. That's my impassioned speech. How about that?
I want to see some combat, like some space combat.
We'll see.
Kind of like, have you played Starbound?
No.
What
You
if
should play
No Man's
Starbound.
Sky is our unanimous game of the year in 2016?
I haven't used that line in a long time.
No, seriously.
So many more opportunities.
Starbound is like Terraria meets No Man's Sky. You should play that.
Oh, the Terraria. Yeah, the 2D. I bought that. I have that game.
You should probably play it.
I just never got it working for
Oh,
whatever reason.
That's weird. It's
Yeah.
like 2D.
No, I know. It it would crash every time I tried to launch it.
Well, that's
Chill
no
out.
good.
That's weird.
Chris Davis, what is your most anticipated game of 2016?
It is not a 4-letter word.
I wasn't going to say it was. What?
My number one game that I'm most excited for in 2016
Wait.
is Dishonored 2.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
okay.
Doom wasn't on your list?
Doom is an honorable mention.
What?
I think all of our brains are melting.
I played the shit out of Dishonored 1. I love that game. I beat it 5 or 6 times. I beat the DLC like 2 or 3 times. It was so good, giving you this experience where you can fuck with people, you can not fuck with people. You can choose to kill them all and end up ruining the city. You could end up sparing them all and sending them to like more appropriate punishments. And
I think Dishonored was the most approachable Hitman game I've ever played.
It was Hitman with agility and charisma.
I think what you meant to say is it's
Easy?
It's Hitman with
Y'all need to be careful.
Hitman with the blink ability.
No, that's no.
Love that ability.
'Cause-
Hey, you're not
This-
going to find a bad word about Dishonored in this
Hitman
room,
is more of a sim game, honestly, than Dishonored was. Dishonored was very scripted. It did have that element of players or characters running around and doing things, whatever.
Dishonored gave me some Deus Ex vibes.
But it was Hitman with magic and exploration, and it was so good. It was a wonderful game.
It was.
And Arcane is promising in Dishonored 2, you can play as both Corvo and Emily Caldwell. Okay, so you already have potentially 2 different campaigns to try out. You've got this brand new area.
I really hope the characters play different enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope there's enough of a distinction between the way Emily plays versus the way Corvo plays.
And they've established this universe in the previous game that is fucking fascinating to me. That they're teasing about that I can't wait
I want
to
more
find out more
whales.
about.
I want more squishy heart.
I want to know about the Pendician continent. Holy crap, that is awesome.
You were. I just want more whales. Whaling was cool. Like
Pendician continent's where the rat plague came from. So that means people
Is that where
went
the
to a
whales came
place
from?
that people escaped
I want there to be
from 1,000 years ago.
I thought it was so cool that world was built around this it was the
I mean,
industry
yeah, it
aspect of
was-
the world was built around this concept. This
The industry,
whaling.
it was a whaling town, yes. But there was so much more to it. So much more.
The whales.
Nick.
I'm sorry.
Finish us off.
My number one game of most anticipated game of 2016 is. I have forgotten what it was. Hold on.
Really?
God damn it.
Oh no, sorry.
Chasm.
Horizon
Ooh.
Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yes.
Okay.
This game instantly blew my skirt up, as Crispy would say, when they announced it at E3. And I really wasn't expecting to really be excited about a game from Guerrilla. Like Killzone is cool looking. It's always been beautiful, but it's never really been a franchise that I like, whose like lore I can really get behind. or anything
Guerrilla
like that.
makes good games, but
they
they're
make
not.
fine. They make fine games, Chris Davis.
Fine at best.
I like Killzone 3.
But
okay.
but-
I really liked it.
like something about the world in Horizon has me really intrigued. It has that that concept of like humans kind of resorting back to their more what's the word I'm looking for? Their ancient like
Slave-esque.
yeah it does look a little like enslaved.
Post-apocalyptic
It's kind of like where the
Stone
Earth is
Age.
taken back.
Post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic, yeah. But like then throwing in like dinosaur robots and like oh my god. Oh, the combat when she took down that giant like
Robot Stegosaurus.
oh my god. You have no idea.
And the Robo T-Rex through the rocket launchers.
You have no idea.
It's like the open world RPG you've always wanted.
yes.
It's just all the dinosaurs happen to also be robots.
Yes. And it looks beautiful. It looks fucking beautiful. Looks beautiful.
Absolutely does.
The only reason Scalebound's not on my list,
It's because it was delayed. Anyways,
it was delayed recently.
are we ready to wrap the show?
We're
up?
ready to. We're
Honorable
wrapping it up now.
mentions?
All right. It's been a long show, guys, but we thank you for sticking with us.
Wait,
As you
he
can
just
see,
said honorable mentions. I did have a couple.
Just asking.
Oh, okay. Get them out there quick. I want to go ahead and
I just
start.
want to say I'm also excited to see what that new Valkyria game is. I'm excited about Chasm. I'm excited about Hitman, and I'm very excited about Divinity: Original Sin 2, among many other things.
Dark Souls 3 obviously is an honorable mention on my list. I just didn't put it on there because I wanted to do like new IP stuff. XCOM 2, same reason.
2.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Ooh.
Fire Emblem.
And then a bunch of stuff. Fire Emblem, yeah, I'm really excited to see how that goes.
I want to go ahead and do a shout out to
Watch Dogs
whatever Amy Hennig is working on Star Wars related at
Hell yeah.
Visceral.
Hell yeah.
I love Visceral. They made They made
Dead Space.
Dead Space.
They made also
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
what?
That other game they made recently.
The-
Don't say it.
What?
We don't talk about that game.
The important thing is they made Dead Space.
Yeah.
What's
And
it
Amy
called? Fucking the God of War knockoff.
and Amy Hennig is fantastic.
That's not what
and
I'm
Star
talking
Wars is obviously in the midst of a huge resurgence in popularity. So that sounds like a really awesome combination. And apparently it has RPG elements. Like a new Star Wars RPG made by the guys that made Dead Space with the writer of fucking Uncharted. Holy shit. And Legacy
Dante's
of
Inferno.
I was going to say Legacy of Kain. Oh, yeah.
I was
Dante's
going to say
Inferno.
Battlefield Hardline, but whatever.
Oh God, that was them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was what you were thinking of? Battlefield Hardline?
Did you play Battlefield Hardline?
They're
Did you
now
play
known-
Dante's Inferno?
Wait,
Yes.
I did. All the way
They're
to-
now known for. Wait a minute. So they have Dead Space, Dante's Inferno, and Battlefield Hardline.
Yes.
Wow, it's almost like there's more bad than good.
They have 3 good Dead Space games, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dead Space 3 was a fine game.
Okay. I mean, I didn't play it, so.
The point is, like, that was a new IP from Visceral, and they did a really good job on it. One of my favorite horror games, favorite action horror games for sure.
Sure.
My honorable mentions go to Doom, of course, because holy crap. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which nobody mentioned. Also, the new Legend of Zelda game. I mean, that's the one reason I would get a Wii U. Honestly.
That would also be an honorable mention for myself.
So this related to Star Wars, and related to Dante's Inferno, and related to Dead Space. There's like an interview with Oscar Isaac where they asked him, where they were talking to him about video games, and he was supposed to be in Dante's Inferno, and he was talking shit about the game.
He
He
got
said it was
fired.
like garbage, and he got fired or something.
I liked.
How does a Hollywood actor get fired from? I guess he wasn't.
He
a big
wasn't really
deal
a big
back then,
name back then.
but that's funny.
Anyways, that's our show, guys. Thank you so much for watching / listening. As you can tell, 2016 is going to be fucking huge. We are working actively on our top 10 games of 2015. Our Game of the Year videos. Those will be coming down the pipe very soon. Our next podcast next Tuesday will be our 2015 award show. So we'll be going through all of our award categories per
Excited.
usual. And we'll be covering all the games we played in 2015. Last minute reminder, you can if you go to 4playernetwork.com, you can find a link to our new store. We've launched 2 new t-shirts that are ready for you guys to purchase. We have a shirt I'm currently wearing, the Roach of Krondor shirt. Brad's sporting our new Scooter Brothers shirt, which he's going to show off to the camera right about now. Also, I want to put out just a quick call. If there's anybody out in the community who listens who happens to be a graphic designer and would be interested in helping myself and Ed build the next version of the 4Player website, please contact me. You can also find information about the position that we're looking to fill on the site at 4playernetwork.com. You can just click on the Help Wanted link near the top of the page or at the bottom in the footer. And I think that's all we have for you today, guys. Brad, Crispy, Chris, it's been fun. Thank you for being here. Cooter Brothers, it says on your shirt.
That's I don't know if I like that.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Thank you for
Designful.
listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website, and we will see y'all next week
On the flip side.
on the flip side.
Catch you around.
Bye.